This is actually expert bullet. Oh! The ropes! The ropes! Oh, and he had the match? Oh! Wait! He resigned when he could have won the piece! Now he's gonna take the pawn G4. He's got a queen! He's gonna take the queen!
Whole queen!
Oh, the D6 pawn is hanging. And now rook H7. Wow, that was brilliant!
You glance over at your opponent's clock and wait a minute. I just need to make moves that don't hang pieces.
Oh, he hung a piece? You are the ultimate jinx. Oh no! This goal! Oh my gosh! Oh, how is he doing this? Welcome, everybody, back to the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. I'm Grandmaster Robert Hess, alongside me, my good friend, my partner in crime, and a participant in this very tournament, Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. Danya, you excited for the elimination bracket today?
Yes, sir, I am. Good afternoon to everybody. I have the ultimate privilege. I get to commentate and play, and I enjoy both things tremendously. Just because these players lost the first match doesn't mean that they're any less worthy of winning the tournament. The fact that it's a double elimination system, Robert, I think it's fantastic. I think it gets everybody a proper chance for redemption.
I agree with you. And sometimes people are unfamiliar with things like a loser's bracket, but it's double elimination format. So we'll just let everyone know what you're seeing here today, because the first matches have been done with players like Daniel Naroditsky, Hikaru Nakamura, Ray Robson, and others made their way through to the next round. But it's a 16-player event, double elimination. The higher rated player gets white in the first game, but that only can mean so much when you're playing 30 minutes of bullet chess. And Donna, let me ask you, with the time control being just 1 minute flat, no increment, that 15-minute marker, when you get to the break, how important is that?
It's actually huge. And it kind of creeps up on you before you know it. It's huge for the player who is not, for whom it's not going well the first 15 minutes. It gives them a chance to catch their breath, to reset, and to prepare themselves mentally for the second half of the match. Obviously, the player who's doing well, they'd prefer that there'd be no break, but I think it's a very nice touch.
Yeah, I think it does give that reset button a little bit, especially if you just are going time scramble after time scramble. But this is the Bullet Chess Championship here presented by DigitalOcean. It's a double elimination format. So let's go to the bracket, show everybody who's made their way through to the next round in the winner's bracket and who's taking part in a winner go home situation. Because if you look at the bottom of this bracket, these 8 players, they lose today, they're gone.
Is it Caruana? Anybody famous? Van Forest, winner, Tata Steele, Bortnick and Hansen. I don't think there will be any interesting matches today, Robert.
I think your sarcasm is felt by everybody watching the show. I mean, seriously, some awesome matchups. The fact that a player like Arjun Erigaisi, thanks to you, is in the losers bracket.
My pleasure.
Ridiculous.
And he just won the Indian Championship as well, just on the side, by the way. Oh, excuse me, just I have to go win the championship of my country real quickly. Now he's back to play Jordan Van Forest. Obviously, Fabi, he really proved himself against Andrew Tang. The match didn't go his way, but it came down to the very last game. And I don't know if anybody expected that. Fabi continues to improve his bullet skills. And, you know, I think he has a few things left to say in this tournament.
Yeah, he had the most surprising performance in the first round. But let me ask you something. Who are you most surprised to see here, besides Arjun? Who are you most surprised to see in the losers bracket right now?
Well, I'd have to go with Bortnick. I always feel like Bortnick is definitely top 5 bullet players in the world. When he's on, he's absolutely unstoppable. He was a little bit slow in that first match. So Eric has his work cut out for him, but we all know of Eric Hansen's bullet abilities as well.
Yeah, the chess bra, he's not going to go down without swinging here. And of these 4 matches, I mean, they're all so excellent. And there's a lot of prize money at stake because if you lose today, you've lost 2 matches in a row, you still take home $1,500, not a bad payday. And if you keep on going, at the very least, you'll get $2,500.
An even better payday, and $20,000 for first place in the overall tournament. That's a huge prize. You can buy a car with that money. So, I mean, or many other things. Lifetime supply of chess books and mice and a laptop. So a lot at stake here. There's pride, obviously, but there's also a lot of money and a lot of bullet to be played, Robert. This is a lovely tournament.
It certainly is. There certainly is a ton of bullets to be played. So, just to remind everybody that you can go to go.chess.com/BCC 2022 to find out all the information about this event. But for now, you're going to be sitting there being able to watch on chess.com/events. But we're going to head to a break because when we return, we'll be set for the first match between Arjun Erigaisi and Jordan von Forest.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something?
Hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my Queens side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell?
Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.
And we're back here at the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. Jordan von Forest has been found. He is getting set up. He's ready to play against Arjun Erigaisi here in the losers bracket. They both lost their opening battle in the Bullet Chess Championship. So Danya, now that Jordan is here, the action is going to be set and take place soon. Who do you have in this match?
Well, I'm just more familiar with Arjun's bullet strength. He didn't have the greatest match against me. I thought he was a little bit off, a little bit too slow. And Jordan, also got crushed by Ray. So, both of them are going to be looking for redemption. Both of them are going to have to speed it up a little bit. I think Arjun, to my eyes, is the favorite by a little bit.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Arjun, he is one of the absolute best on chess.com server, and he's in great form. You mentioned he won the over-the-board Indian Championship. Seems like he's winning events left and right, but he found a roadblock in you, but maybe he'll be able to. There's a Von Forest joke here somewhere. I'll leave that one up to
right.
you.
Yeah, I have to think. I mean, I've said the missed the forest for the trees, missed Van Forest for the trees fun so many times. I need a clean slate, but then it'll just be old wine and new bottles. So we'll see. I'll think about it.
Well, I feel like everyone's been talking about it, so we might as well mention it. Rosa red, violets are blue. Danya wore a red shirt, and I did too. So that's why we are matching. It actually was a complete coincidence.
Coincidence.
We jumped on the call and we're like, wait a second. Now let's keep it. It
was absolutely not premeditated. Like, I swear. Complete coincidence. It's just we're just on the same wavelength,
Yeah, telepathy working its way into our wardrobe selection. So I'm glad we could make that work. But Danya, 4 great matches ahead today. I want to remind everybody that they can vote on who they think will win. So make sure to vote in chat who you think will win this match. Type your pick in right now. Will it be Arjun? Will it be Jordan? Let us know.
Right. I don't think people in the chat are believing us that it's a coincidence. I don't know how I would go about proving such a thing.
We don't need to prove it. As long as we know, that's enough.
I'm quite offended that chat is not believing me, to be honest.
I just kind of expect them not to believe anything that comes out of our mouth, except for when we analyze chess. Now, in bullet chess, there's just really no time. It's frantic. The pace is just really blistering, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to this opening match. We can show everybody the bracket once again. This is the losers bracket for players who lost their first matchup. This is what their road ahead looks like. For some, this will be the last stop. They will go home if they lose today. But for Jordan and Arjun, we see them in match 10. If whoever wins, they will be playing somebody who lost from the winners bracket.
Right. And double elimination means that if you win all of the matches in the losers bracket, then you will play the winner of the winners bracket, but you cannot afford to lose a single other match. Otherwise, you are gone permanently from the tournament, as we have a look here at the overall bracket with the winners in yellow and the losers in gray.
Oh, well, is really just tremendous names here in this competition. And as we mentioned at the start of the show, Fabiano Caruana, who will face Sergei Zhigalko today, he was the most surprising in the opening round because a lot of people, they doubt his speed chess skills and particularly bullet. And he went as toe-to-toe as it gets with Andrew Tang. But that's the thing of the past. Right now, we have Jordan and Arjun. The games have begun.
Yes, they have. Seatbelts fastened. Jordan are the white pieces in game 1. We have a King's Indian here, which is a very good bullet opening. And
Danya, isn't Arjun really underrated right now? How is he 28.59?
How is he 28.59? I don't understand it. Wasn't he 30.50 when I played him?
That's what I thought. But right now, it looks like Jordan, he's a slightly more space. He's about to put a knight on c4, hop the knight into b6.
Knight b6, yeah.
The d6 pawn as well is weak, but we need to keep an eye on the e4 pawn. It's very easy to make a move like knight c4 before first securing with f3. Great
move. Goes f3. Arjun has to create chances on the king side. In the long run, that pawn on d6 is going to cost him. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get his pieces out. Maybe a check on d1, maybe knight h5. Okay. That queen is incredibly active for black.
That's true.
But knight c4?
I think so. There's no real attack for black. So I like the way that Arjun's queen is just roaming around the board here, but it's getting dangerously close to being trapped.
Hither and thither and zigging and zagging. The bishop on g7 is obviously very bad. So you could also play h5, bishop h6, or you could put the bishop on f8 to defend the d6 pawn. But all of this is taking Jordan a long time. He's down to 20 seconds.
But he's playing great chess because there's no attack for black. He's going to go b6. He go after the b7 pawn, queen c8 check to take that one. He just needs to make sure that his king doesn't get in any danger.
Whoa, king g2 was unnecessary. Now bishop takes b6, queen takes b7, but okay, now he's won the pawn. Now all he has to do is push.
There must be some
that was bishop f4. He wants bishop takes g3.
And if takes, knight takes, there's a lot of checks over there, and that's what's about to happen.
Knight takes h3. This has gotten scary.
King h2? Okay, king g2 was played.
King h2, you can drop it back to f4 anyway. I would go for it if I'm Arjun.
And he's trying. Queen b5 check. King h1. Knight f1.
Queen a2 maybe. Just keep making threats. There's knight d3.
There's after queen, he had knight h1 to protect. Is he losing?
Whoa, don't get mated. Queen h2, h5. He's gonna lose on time. Jordan is gonna lose
goodness.
What an insane first game.
That was ridiculous, and great recognition by Arjun to play those quick moves to win on the clock, because the board situation was looking quite bleak for him throughout that game.
It was. I mean, he was worse throughout, but he kept that 5-10 second time advantage. And when push comes to shove, sometimes that's all that matters.
That's right. And right now in game 2, Arjun's staring at the f7 pawn, and Jordan calmly defends it. And right now, the pawn structure is better for black, but the activity is better for white.
Yeah, and b7 is hanging. He captures it. c6 is weak on top of that. Black's position looks terrible. Knight takes c6.
Oh, his bishop. I don't like that move. Bishop takes
I don't like that at
king
all.
On h1. That looks very risky. And he takes that pawn too? No way.
He had knight d7 there with the fork. Now he goes knight d7, but he can't take the rook because of the pin. Ooh, he's gotten himself into some trouble here.
And rook e8 calmly played. He wants to double on the second rank, but no, says Arjun, rook e1. I feel like there has to be a winning tactic for black, but nowhere to be found. Watch out, rook e8
is a huge threat, and knight f6.
Yeah,
this is taking Jordan forever. Rook e8 anyway.
Rook e8 just wins the queen.
Rook e8 is a pretty basic tactic. He finds it.
And you could throw in some checks for black. Just as long as the white king doesn't go to h3, there will be this knight f6 check tactic.
And the funny thing is bishop takes d7, and you just play knight takes d7. And then again, you have the same tactic. It's over. Look at the time situation. 25 seconds is what Arjun has on Jordan. Mate threat on b1. You can just take f6 with check. And this is easy.
Okay, so he checks a bunch. Queen e4 check. Takes care of the b1 square. And then
just king g1 or something.
96 is really nice. You take on c7, the b1 square is covered.
It's over. And Arjun is going to go up 2-0. Here we go.
Really rough start for Jordan van Foreest. And he was late to the match, and he better hope that better late than never within the match, because he's down 2 points in Arjun Erigaisi. I mean, that guy doesn't just give away points ever.
No, he's good. He's fast, and he's giving away pawn. He's giving away a pawn there for no compensation. This is a game Jordan has to win. This is basically winning. c5, bishop e2. He's got the 2 bishops. Arjun trying to get his knight to d4. It's the only asset in black's position.
But look at that bishop to c4, just working around that knight and push those queenside pawns. He can't play b5 yet because c5 will fall, but he's just taking care of the knight's activity first, and then he'll push the pawns later.
Knight e2, offering a trade of knights. Arjun going after the a3 pawn, but Jordan can always go bishop c1 when necessary.
Well, knight e3 first. Okay. That was clever. And now it's opposite colored bishops.
And now various pawns are under attack. You can play f6. Jordan finds a way to defend them, but this is not going to be that easy to win, and watch for forks.
Bring the king to the center. Yeah, how do you actually win this game? It's clearly better for white. Maybe you gotta go bishop g8
Knight
at some
c2.
point.
He's blundered a pawn. Now, if you go a4, you lose the pawn on b4.
Okay, bishop
and
d3.
the knight can evacuate.
But if the knight goes to b5, you could take this. It goes b6. What a move!
I think Arjun's winning this. I think Arjun's going to win this game. He's up 10 seconds.
Yeah, and he's not even down material. In fact, he's going to be up a pawn in a second.
He's going to be better. Bishop e7 defending the pawn. Bishop a6. You have knight c2, knight b4. It's going to be 3-0.
Wow, I mean, incredible play by Arjun.
Okay, h6 Jordan trying to get to that h7 pawn. How do you do that?
You don't.
Right.
You need your bishop to go to c4, but the knight on a3 stops that bishop's progress.
Bishop takes h6. Now you don't even have that danger anymore. It's over.
Knight a6. Ooh, he knight a6 to win the c5 pawn. That was his only chance.
Did. Okay, now he loses a piece,
Yeah,
and he's still down 10 seconds.
and this is a running match clock. So everyone needs to remember that it's 30 minutes for the entire match. They get a break after 15. So sometimes resigning is actually a good strategy because then you conserve more time and get more games in.
Yeah, and we have the Alekhine with knight g8 by Jordan. I don't know if that's going to solve his match problem right now, but we'll see.
Okay, knight takes f7 and bullet is so tempting there, right? Like you drag the king out, go for an attack, but Arjun says, all right, I'll trust you, Jordan. That's not a good idea. You have it worked out.
Jordan has played very solidly in the openings. I mean, I don't think the openings have been the problem for him. It's just the time management. And, that last game was incredibly painful, losing a pawn up. Here he's up on time and he's playing a lot faster. This I like a lot. Wow, look at him pre-moving.
15 seconds. I mean, this is
Where was
E5.
this the first 3 games?
Oh, he had to play E5 or played it
Even
some
now.
point. Yeah.
Now E4, and now if E5, then maybe D5.
But then you take and you have E4 yourself. So I think you had to push E5. Now your bishop on H6. It looks good, but it doesn't open up the position, so it's staring into thin air.
And now if I'm Arjun, I'd go bishop E4, rook F3, start hitting the F7 pawn, and I would accelerate just a little bit.
Yes. And
G3, H4.
I mean, honestly, Jordan is taking Arjun's game plan, right? Play really quickly. But here comes those pawns.
Ooh, bishop G7, King G8 was a nice move there. He's up 20 seconds.
Mhm.
Oh, I would take on Passant.
Bishop H6, Bishop G6, maybe? Okay, he delays it.
Oh, now H5, and then maybe move your bishop back. But Arjun down to 15 seconds. Can he give checkmate here in time? Bishop takes G6 is unstoppable.
Oh, gosh, here it comes.
Rushing.
Bishop G6, then King F8.
Is he having connection problems? He's got to move. Oh, my goodness, move. Arjun, move.
Not the time to lose connection.
Oh, my God. It's over. He's lost connection.
Oh, that is a brutal way to have your winning streak stop. And
Yes,
Jordan,
it is.
You saw him kind of wave his hand like, what's happening here? And, well, connection issues for Arjun Erigaisi.
Yeah, there's nothing more tilting than being 3 moves away from checkmate. Bishop takes G6 and then bring the rook back to F3. It's all over. He would have been up 4 points. This is potentially a game changer. Here we go. He's back. He's got 1 bar of connection, though.
And it seems like it's stabilizing a bit, back to 3 bars. And we said Arjun was underrated to start with. He's been stealing Jordan's rating. So he's been farming in this match thus far, but now it's 3-1.
Big time farmage going on. Another King's Indian setup, this time Jordan fianchettoing his dark squared bishop. Okay, bishop A3, bishop D6 is the idea.
And Arjun's internet. I'm not liking the look of this.
No, he usually does not take 20 seconds on 10 moves in a bullet game.
No, he does not. It's going in and out, not good for the Indian teenager who's such a superstar, especially in these quick time controls, but also proving it over the classical games as well. And right now, his internet not doing him any favors.
No, and the problem is that when your internet is bad, it also affects your play. You're constantly looking at your connection. You're constantly worried that you're going to lag, and it's just very distracting. Knight takes F4.
Knight takes F4, removing the guard of the knight in E5 there. That seems completely reasonable. He goes for it, but yeah, I mean, it's hard.
It's very obvious. Yeah, it's over.
It's just the connection.
Yeah, what else is there? I mean, 12 seconds to 38 seconds.
Okay, but his position actually is better, but he's down so much time.
There was a mate threat there. Rook H3. He's finding great moves. He's playing great. He should be up 4-0, but c'est la vie. Queen C5.
Oh my gosh.
It's not going to matter.
Yeah, there's too much time left for white and too little for black. He's finding great tactics.
Yeah, no, this is an internet game.
That's true. And okay, he's back to 4 bars from what I see here. So it looks like Arjun. Oh, they went back to 2 as soon as I said that.
Robert, did you have to point that out? The internet gods were waiting for you to say that.
Well, I was trying to, kind of will it into existence, and unfortunately, the connection went down. But it is back. It seems back.
Yep. So far, so good in this game.
Oh, although
it's hard to
position may not
when
be
he's
so
thinking and when he's actually lagging. Rook B4. I think this is decent. Takes the pawn on C4, maybe.
Yep. Okay.
So bishop A3.
So white is just better. Up a pawn, better pawn structure, and the knight on a3 protects the queen on c2. Otherwise, that would have been impossible. So, I mean, great start to this game for Arjun, but we can only talk so much about the moves if his connection is going to be faltering.
Yeah, and he trades knights. He's up a healthy pawn. He just has to keep the foot on the gas pedal. E3, rook c1, attack the pawn on c7. Jordan trying to create counterplay on the king side, but if Arjun can trade queens here, it should be a pretty straightforward win.
But Arjun is down 10 seconds. And a5 is a great move, by the way, just in terms of even in classical chess, trading off the pawns, creating a weakness. Rook a7, as you're mentioning, the black actually has great chances to hold no matter the time control.
Whoa. And rook a4 was a pretty bad pre-move, but still has a great. Oh, no, you can't play d6 c6. I thought for a second that you could sack the rook and still promote the pawn.
Yeah, it was a close call, but look at the king for. Oh, could you've traded rooks there?
Taken that and then king f5 for sure.
But I understand the impulse not to do that.
This is flaggable. I think no, why give up a pawn like that? That was completely unnecessary. Normally, I would say with an extra pawn, white is the favorite, even though he's down a couple seconds. Now it's anybody's game. Let's see who's got the faster mouse skills.
Okay, well, extra few seconds for Jordan, but I do believe Arjun is the quicker player on the mouse. And Jordan says no draw. I thought he was going to make the draw there.
E3 was a threat there. King f1 wins the pawn.
Yes, it does.
It would have won the pawn. Now, okay, Jordan pre-moving. Rook a7 check was a great move.
E2.
King f3.
Okay,
King f3.
King f3 the only option. No, he found the.
Oh, you got to promote it. Oh my god. Take the rook. Take the rook. Oh my god. The rook is just hanging there.
But black's
But will he win? He's gonna lose. He's gonna flag out. He's gonna flag out. No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. He lost. No, this is just heartbreaking.
Oh my goodness. That was unreal. That was a roller coaster. I don't know how I feel right now, and I don't even know how to speak about it.
This is so tilting. Knight takes e3, and Arjun is still better again.
Yes, and he's playing very quickly.
Tilting.
So, well, he doesn't seem tilted. I know he undoubtedly is frustrated, but right now...
Never seems tilted.
Right now, he's just up a pawn. And look at that knight on e5. That's worth so much. Now going over to g4 to hit the e3 pawn. Great play so far by Arjun.
e5, f5 is coming as well, and that rook on g3 is just totally arrested. He's up on time. This one looking good for Arjun.
Now he's queen to e5 because he's up a pawn. Might as well trade queens. And as you said, the rook on g3 is never getting back in the game. It's just going to be trapped at some point with knight h6 to f5.
This is completely winning, actually. Just f5, and then you can do stuff on the queen side. b5 is a threat. a6, b5 maybe.
Can you go rook takes d5? Like just take the bishop on d5 and get the rook in.
I think he's setting that up.
There's a useless rook on g3. Can't do
totally
anything.
useless. Rook a3.
F4.
Rook takes
F4
d6, though.
Oh, f4 would have won the rook over there.
Yep. Now d5, d4. Jordan finally getting that rook out of jail, but is it too late?
I don't think so, actually. Somehow, rook
c6.
Oh my gosh, the pass pawn.
What a move. No, but f4, you can't take on b6, right? Oh, he takes on b6. He blunders the rook.
Oh, as soon as you say it, he blunders it.
He blunders the rook and resigns.
Wow. And I guess they get this one last game. Oh, no, that was the last game before the break. So they had about 15 minutes and 24 seconds left. Some of that we'll get the official clock situation verified. But Danya, what a match it has been this far. It's been kind of two different matches.
It has been. I mean, it looked like Arjun was going to blow Jordan away, and then those internet issues costing him one game. And a combination of Jordan's clever play allows him to tie the match. But that last game was big for Arjun. He wins with black. He's up a point. Provided that he can keep his internet stable, he should be in pretty good shape. That's right. Those internet providers, hopefully they stabilize there for Arjun. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, more here for the matchup between Arjun Erigaisi and Jordan Van Forest in the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean.
We're back here in the Bullet Chess Championship in the losers bracket, and we're looking at the matchup between Jordan van Forest and Arjun Erigaisi. Arjun, based on the Twitch chat, was a 67% favorite to win this matchup. He currently has a 1-point lead, 4-3 over Jordan van Forest, because that last game went in Arjun's favor. But Danya, it's been a topsy-turvy match. The first 3 games going to Arjun, the next 3 to Jordan, and that last one back to Arjun.
Yeah, and this could end up being a close match as they kick off the second 15-minute half. 1-point game. They've gone back and forth. Let's see. It's hard to say who the momentum favors because that last win was really big for Arjun. He's got the white pieces here. Let's see if he can solidify that lead.
And Jordan has played quicker. Of course, Arjun has had his connection problems, but to Jordan's credit, even though he had some good position in the first 3 games, he was playing too slowly. He has rectified that.
Oh, without question. He's had really no time problems in the last couple of games. Queen A5, potentially mutual liquidation on the queen side. Will Arjun take B7? He does.
Okay.
Ooh, D4. Ooh, Queen A4, 92.
Yes, the rook on C3 is hanging multiple times over there.
And then A2 is going to hang at the end, and Black's rooks are streaming in with great effect.
Okay. Is it Bishop H6?
Bishop
I was looking at
H6.
the same thing. Oh, E5, what a
E5's
move.
a great move. You can't take it because the bishop hangs.
Oh my goodness. What a game by Jordan here. Take the bishop.
Tons of time on the clock too.
Oh, but I think there's a great practical try by Arjun right now. It's unfortunately just lost, but it was a good try to take over the dark squares.
And if he can get his knight to G4, create some counterplay, that might help. Rook A6.
Rook A6.
Essentially forcing the rook trade. Jeez.
And now if the knight moves, there's rook E4. That's why I went F3. But what a great resources there by Jordan. He's just not allowing any counterplay by Arjun.
0. And in a bullet game, you want to simplify. When you're up material, you don't want to allow anything. You want to simplify the position. He's still up 10 seconds. He should win this game and tie the match.
Yeah, you almost checkmate him. That's why G4 is supposed to give the king the G3 square. And now the pawn is going. It's an extra exchange. And the pawn can't take D4. You lose a piece. And here it's just mop-up duty for Jordan.
Yes, it is. King D3. Arjun doing his best, but it's obviously not enough.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Too much material. So Jordan, I mean, a really great game for him after the break. He has been improving as time has gone on.
Yeah, he has come out swinging, and the quality of play was really, really high as he plays a solid system here with D4 and E3. I like this opening for bullet. Easy to play fast.
That's right. And right now there's a 2-on-1 queenside majority, which may not seem
queen
important.
D4.
Yeah, wins a pawn. Steal that pawn on A7. There it goes. Oh, rook E1.
Arjun, then maybe rook A8, but you won't really be able to take on A2 because that knight might get trapped there.
And what a calm move by Arjun. Queen D6 by rook C8, E5, saying, I don't care about material. Look at my activity.
He's got a lot of activity. I would try to get this knight out of C1, C3, smoke it out with rook C1. He does. Arjun says, no, I'm not going anywhere. Queen B4.
Yeah,
Hard to
look
make
at
a move here for Black.
I was about to say the same thing. The knight wants to go to D2, but the queen's in the way. And all right, maybe play F3 at some point. So that's a bit risky for the king on G1, and the knight on H2 will be sitting locked in by its own pieces.
And now the time situation, again, not in Jordan's favor. Okay, we have a trade. That's a bit of a relief for white. Maybe knight F1, knight D2.
There it goes. And queen D2, here it comes.
Okay.
Trade queens and rook A1. There it goes.
Worst is behind him. But Arjun's got that passer.
Yeah, I think at some point you're going to have to send the A pawn, right? There it goes. And if bishop takes B3, you can trade everything. You'll never lose that endgame from white. Exactly like this.
I don't like trading on C4 at all. I feel like this is so easy. Oh, wait.
Rook D1. Only move.
Rook D1. Now this is flaggable. I would totally go for the flag here from Arjun. You're up 10 seconds. If you didn't have internet lag, I would go for the flag here, go G4 at some point.
Yeah, but look at Jordan's mouse speed. I mean, this is actually really a job well done by him, because you're right that Arjun could try to flag him. He's just giving him the checks, and now it might be Black who has to force the draw at some point.
Yeah, because White's got all these lateral checks, and Black has a much harder time pre-moving than White. F4 is a great move. Arjun staying on his feet. Ooh, H3.
Okay, look, there's rook G5 coming.
Ooh, rook
H8. Rook H8. Rook H4. Oh my gosh.
He the pawn. He might win.
He's going to win. Rook H4.
My God.
Oh, no, why would you trade rooks?
No, it's winning. It's
why
winning.
would you trade rooks? He had no time.
Goodness. It's winning. And Jordan, for the first time in this match, gets a 1-point lead with 11 to go in the match. What a game. How did he win that? He was down 7 seconds.
He was just playing so quickly, giving the checks. So Arjun had to respond like that, couldn't just pre-move his rook around.
The lateral, at the presence of those lateral checks, and Jordan just had a little bit more activity there.
And that timely pawn push, right? You know, playing f4.
Goodness gracious.
Making black's pawns targets. And right now with the black pieces, Jordan, I mean, he looks better in this. He just stole a pawn in the center.
Yeah, but bishop takes h8. He shouldn't have given that away. He should have defended it with his king. Now his king is in trouble. The d5 pawn is weak. Black is much worse here.
And okay, brings the knight back to defend the king, but the d5 pawn is a permanent weakness. Rook to
d1.
e4 is hanging. How do you defend it?
Yo, this is bad. Knight takes d5 is coming. h5.
Okay, so queen b2, but oh gosh, this looks scary. Knight c7.
You're losing all your pawns here. e4 is also falling, and you're down 15 seconds.
Oh, what a move. Knight d4, though.
Great
Take e2 and protect e6.
Bishop f1, though. Arjun keeping his composure.
But now rook c8, and at least if knight takes e6, you take with a knight. Wow,
yeah, but then queen takes e4. No, this should still be queen takes d4. That's a free piece.
That's a free piece, and that's the game.
And just like that, it's a tie match again. This is going to be a barn burner. Here we go.
Still 9 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. And a reminder to everybody, as long as there's 1 second on the match clock, a final game can begin. So with a match this close, you're going to have to keep an eye on the timer. But right now it is 5-5. It's Jordan, it's Arjun, and Danya. These positions I tend to like from the white side. And in bullet, having the more pawns in the center, I think that's favorable.
Yeah, in general, that's true. Although black has good piece activity, the knight eyeing the f4 square, and maybe the queen getting to b4, h6. Great idea to make luft. That's something you always want to do when you have the chance in a bullet game.
That's right. And you had to take on c8 first. The e4 pawn is a bit tender, but so is this a7 pawn. Now d5 at any moment can win the a7 pawn to trade.
Maybe a draw.
Maybe a draw indeed, but watch out for knight f4. You mentioned it earlier. That could be quite a nuisance.
Yes, it could. And this is basically an attempt at liquidation. a7 might disappear. Arjun, though, tries to keep the tension. Rook takes a7. Ooh.
Okay, and just moves back. But that rook on a7 is very powerful. To be very nervous for the black king, except when the bishop lands in d5.
But it's also very loose, and he brings it back. Now Arjun's in good shape. Rook e8, totally in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, there's not too much material remaining, but the extra time on the clock, he could try to flag Jordan.
And queen g6 creating threats against his king. Queen g3 is an important defensive move. He plays it, and you cannot take it. You lose a piece.
That's right. The knight needed to defend the bishop when that was on d5. And here, okay, no problems for either side, except on the clock for Jordan.
And now the pin, he goes rook d2 to be able to move the knight. Jordan should be able to make a draw here.
And what do you think about the decision to trade rooks from Arjun's point of view? I thought it would have been harder to pre-move, right, for white if the rooks were still on the board.
Now you can pre-move 91, and Jordan a little bit too slow. He's taking about half a second to a second on every move. Now he starts pre-moving. There we go.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, he could have taken that.
Yeah, he could have. Probably should have.
Now he's down 10 seconds. Arjun should be able to win. He has to keep the pawns on the board. He cannot let Jordan. Oh, he wins the knight. It's over.
Oh, a timely G5.
God, he trades the bishops too.
Wow, that was
a huge win this is going to be for Arjun.
That's the problem when you're down on the clock. You can never predict when your opponent will throw in G5 versus not. So you're trying to pre-move HG5 every turn, but that wastes precious milliseconds. And what is this opening? Sounds like something you would play.
Elephant Gambit. I play this actually quite a bit. Arjun threatening checkmate. He's down 2 pawns. It's Jordan. I don't think he's playing this correctly, though. He's just down 2 pawns for nothing.
But he's up a few seconds, and that's time has been his worst enemy. C6, only move.
C6,
you have to take
he'll win one of them back. But look at his king.
Yeah, I'm not saying I like this for black. I'm just saying that, I got nothing for you.
Bishop A3. Bishop A3.
Ooh, knight C5, D4. Ouch.
Maybe Bishop A5 can save the exchange.
Probably only move. Even rook E7, just take over the 7th rank, and knight G5 coming.
I would make some luft if I had a chance.
Yeah, that's just to save. Make sure your king is perfectly safe. But he goes knight G5. F7 cannot be defended.
No, it cannot. And knight takes f7 would disattach the rook from the knight. Bishop c5 is a nice move, though.
Okay. And if rook f7 is h6, and knight f7 played, and rook takes d3, and it's still only 1 extra pawn.
It's a game. Knight h6, king h8. Your king is still okay. Again, I would go h4 here. Or yep, there we go.
Yep.
Maybe try to get the knight around to f6.
Extra time for black, but really bad king.
Yeah. He goes
I like rook c7 a lot. Because you want to play b6, but then you lose a7, and then b6 will be next.
This is winning for white. Take a7. No, he goes rook e1. He wants rook e7. He wants to mate him.
He wants it all.
How does he stop it?
Only move rook d7, rook e7 anyway.
Knight f6. Jordan doing a great job to stay afloat, though. He's giving himself a chance. Oh,
oh my gosh.
Oh, my lands.
And he didn't have to pre-move at that point. They were about even on the clock.
Nope. And you can't pre-move when there's such volatility in the position of a4. What a crazy move that is.
Maybe it's some preparation they did for Magnus Carlsen in the World Championship, you know?
Entirely possible. Queen b4. This is a crazy position.
So rook a4 almost trapped the queen there.
I have no idea what's going on. I would take with the pawn even. He takes with the queen. Rook b1 though. In a bullet game, this looks terrible for black. Terrible.
I think it's just losing, even in a classical game, but especially in bullet, like you're saying, just free attack.
Free attack and rook takes b5 is possible there.
He just takes on some rook b7.
Now, if you take d7, no, I think actually Arjun is stabilizing this because you can't really take on d7. The bishop covers the check on f7 later.
And knight takes e5 is the threat. Yeah, because knight e5
time disappearing out of his clock. He doesn't know what to do.
All right, so decent move there because of knight e5. Now rook takes e5, but just bishop e7. You can't castle.
Ooh, g6.
Yeah, sure, g6, but you still won't be able to castle for the time being.
And Jordan makes sure of that with bishop h6, but Arjun queen h4, phenomenal move, trying to force the queen check, bishop c5, bishop takes f2 is going to be an idea, and then he's going to take on h6, and he's going to be able to castle.
No, but then there's rook takes d7 because you have no pieces protecting your king. Oh, this is bad.
Rook takes d7.
This is bad. Rook d7.
He misses it.
Oh my gosh, he had rook d7.
Knight takes e5, queen e3, check and castle. That's tons of stuff being missed here in this little stretch.
And I get c4, you're trying to open the position up more. Is queen c5?
What a move. Queen d4. Trying to...
Is there going to be a draw? Like queen g7, rook, queen c5, queen f8?
Knight f3! Oh, no. Oh, my God. But wait, it might still be a draw.
Queen takes f7 is queen h8. So this is
a draw.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Perpetual.
Wait, maybe try to flag him.
No! Rook c7, you see what he did there? Oh, my God. He didn't give a check, and Jordan pre-moved.
Oh, my gosh. So I think what we've learned, what we learned today is that sometimes the players are pre-moving at inopportune moments.
Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous game that was. Now, that's not the worst result for Jordan. He's got time to play 2 games, but he basically has to win the next 2.
Yes. Well, he at least needs to win, go 1.5 2 and get that last game in.
Yeah. Okay, so it's pretty equal position here. Arjun playing very consistent, stable chess is how you want to play. You've got that lead.
And very important move, a6, knight b5 to d6 at any moment was going to be annoying. And wait, look at Jordan go. He's just creating a weakness in Arjun's
b5.
position.
Bishop b3 was really bad, allowing b5. Now the trade is favorable for black. Black is better here for sure. Bishop d4.
Yeah, surprised he didn't put a bishop on d4 right there. He still can do it, but he's trying to double on the c file.
Rook f8 maybe simply.
Probably have to go rook f8. He does.
Still, now, bishop d4 is on the cards.
Knight e8?
Bishop c3. Bishop c3. Bishop c3.
Just kick the rook away.
And then take the knight. Knight e8 was really bad. What was knight e8? Queen e7. Oh, no. But then bishop takes e1 anyway.
No, but knight e8 is one of those moves that look really cool. And then you see the bar drop. And you're like, yeah, that was a 1-move threat. Didn't work out.
Whoops. And this is completely winning for Jordan. I mean, never say never in bullet. You know, anything can happen. I would just take c5, go rook c8 and d4.
All right. Queen is just getting out of the pin, d4. But I like what Arjun's doing. He's up on time, and he's just blocking the position up as much as he can.
Get the queens off the board. Jordan d2. Fancy there.
Queen takes f3. Queen. There it is. D1 equals queen.
Beautiful conversion by Jordan. He's got plenty of time, and he's going to win this game.
Yeah, there's no hope here. Don't play queen h1, though, because that queen will take you in the... It's one of those moves that's really easy to make that blunder, and then you...
Mate. Oh, my God. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. 1-point lead. 149 left in the match. And Jordan with the white pieces. And they're going back to what they had in the game 1, the King's Indian structure.
Wait,
D6. No, that was a free pawn.
Wait, wasn't D6 just hanging in there? Okay, well, now it's solidified for black. In fact, you would probably take black. Your King's Indian player.
I would absolutely, especially now, because if b4 you eliminate the dark squared bishop, that's big.
The a4 pawn is one of those weaknesses that will remain. You have to sort of tie your forces down to it, but bishop d7, natural developing move anyway.
This is pretty darn good for black in a bullet game. But Jordan trying to stabilize the situation. Arjun doubling on the c file. He's got pressure on all sides of the board.
There's some tactics here, though. If you play rook e2, you know, you just have to be very careful with getting your... Look at this, knight d4. I was about to say the knight d4 move could be annoying anyway, but now he goes
I would repeat.
back. I'll make a quick draw because there's still time to
Yes,
get one more game.
repeat. He could have gone for 3-time repetition there.
But it's hard. He probably doesn't even know
It
how
should
much
be
time. It
fine.
should be fine. It's
Oh, he blundered. Knight c4. Knight c4. He's still alive. But he's got no time. And the position's so hard to handle. Take on c4, knight d2.
okay. That was a nice tactic. Easy to miss though. Okay, knight c1. He wants to trade. Get his rook on c1. Knight d4 back. Just take it. Oh, but then the
Knight
e5 square.
b6. It's over. It's simply over. He's collapsing here.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done, and the match is also over. This might simply be the last game.
Losing your queen. Okay, or just down a piece for nothing.
And 95 finishes the game. Queen takes e4.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's a 2-point lead for Arjun. They would only have time for one more game. So the match is officially Arjun Erigaisi's. And what a match it was.
What an incredible match. And despite his internet troubles, he was up 3-0. We thought it would be a blowout. Then Jordan comes back. Jordan played a lot better in the second half of the match, but ultimately not quite good enough to match Arjun Erigaisi's mastery.
That's right. And, off screen, we can see the players, I guess, talking to each other, saying good match. And I mean, really, that was an excellent match. It looked like Arjun was going to run away with it. He had internet problems, but to Jordan van Voort's credit, he just was playing much, much faster bullet chess. And then in the end, it was Arjun. He was underrated. We said it from the beginning. So Arjun moves on.
He does, and I'm so excited for our next match between Zhigalko and Caruana. We've got 3 more super exciting matches for you. This is nonstop action.
It's nonstop action. This is the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. Danya and I will be back in a few for the matchup between Sergey Zhigalko and 500 Caruana.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something.
Hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my queen's side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell? Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.
The all-new Classroom is live on chess.com. Classroom offers the very best virtual class experience for coaches, schools, and students. You can connect with anyone at any time with native video and voice conferencing. Check out the best way to teach and learn at chess.com/classroom. Well, we're going to learn who makes their way through to the next round of the Bullet Chess Championship because we just saw Arjun take down Jordan van Forest. Next up, we have Fabiano Caruana and Sergei Zhigalko. So Danya, we know that Fabiano, he doesn't have too much experience in bullet chess, but after we saw him almost take down Andrew Tang, you feeling confident in his abilities?
Well, just like I think it's time to part ways with the Anish Giri as a draw master narrative, I think it's time for us to bid goodbye to the idea that Fabi is somehow worse or much worse at rapid and blitz and bullet than other 27, other super grandmasters and other players of his caliber. He has made steady and noticeable improvements, and his match against Andrew Tang showed that he can compete with the best of them. But Zhigalko, he is a force to be reckoned with. They're off. Zhigalko with the white pieces in game one.
Yes, and before we talk about the chess, just a reminder to everybody in the Twitch chat, do vote. Let us know who you think is going to win this match, Fabiano or Sergey. But right now, Fabiano just takes that pawn on F2. Danya, it's even material, but look at White's pawns. E4 is weak. The queen on F2 super active over here. I like Fabi's position.
Zhigalko trying to coordinate his tandem, threatening checkmate on G7. How does Fabi defend against it? He takes another pawn. He takes another pawn. Yes, got a back rank issue to maybe Queen C7.
There's no rook G1. That's what you need for White to get out of the G7. Oh, Queen C7, this bishop takes E4, rook D8 checkmate. I see what you're going for. So Queen C7 is a nice move.
Queen C7, even Queen takes E4 is interesting. Rook D8, bishop E4. But Zhigalko, he's got down to 24 seconds. He's down 30 seconds on the clock. He doesn't see a move. What is he doing?
He plays Queen D4 at long last, trying to go rook G1. We see his threat, but bishop takes E4. This Queen D8 checkmate. So don't forget, about the back rank checkmate.
That's a really tricky move, and I can see why he was taking his time. How does Fabi defend against both threats at the same time? He doesn't see a move himself. He's down to 30 seconds.
Queen G5, there's still rook to G1, and then E5, something like that?
Ooh. Yeah, I think E5 has to be played at some point. Fabi down to 24 seconds. He's just at a loss. He doesn't see a move. He plays Queen G5.
Okay, and now E5. Oh, rook D8. But
wait, Knight F6. Knight F6. Knight F6 was winning.
Knight F6 was an insane move, and now bishop takes E4, and you don't even take any pawns, and now black's up a pawn, and the C2 pawn is also under attack.
It's a time scramble, and this is where Fabi's improved speed, I think, really shines through. You can see how fast he is now.
Yeah, he feels comfortable pre-moving. Normally, he wants to think for 3 seconds to find the perfect move. Look at these pawns. Okay. King
E2 was winning on the spot. E2 still.
E2 at any moment. And still. Oh, F2 and F1.
Queen, beautiful stuff by Fabi, but Sergey trying his best. He's gotten this down to 4 seconds. Fabi's got to be fast here.
He's got to go. Rook E4 is a great move. Take any 3.
He's going to take the rook, but Sergey with checks and gets his gang out. Fabi might lose on time. No!
Fabi's too slow. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. Wow. Well, that was only the first game of the match.
I am still processing what just happened there. How did he do that? Fabi just not fast enough in the pure pre-move stage. He just wasn't pre-moving when he needed to.
Yeah, I think that's going to continue to be a struggle for him. He's not used to it. I mean, he's playing the highest level chess, but just being able to pre-move is a skill in and of itself. And look at this position, by the way. There's the light squares are White's for the taking. White has the bishop pair. Black is quite active thanks to Knight on G4, Queen on D5. But if the initial wave of attack is parried off, then White should be much better.
And that's exactly what's happened. Fabi up a pawn here. I think the opening is the least of Fabi's problems. He's demonstrating phenomenal play in the opening. Rook takes
rook C2, bishop H6. That's so nice. And otherwise C4. Something like that. Maybe not now, but at some point you can try to play C4 and save your C2 pawn. And he does.
And that was a great trick. And those kinds of tricks, they force the opponent to take time because it takes a while to see that kind of stuff. Fabi is close to being winning here. D6 is falling. I would just trade queens and take D6. For
sure. And E4 probably Black's best chance trying to get a rook to C2. And if you trade rooks, then Black is the active rook despite being down the pawn.
G4, Fabi. But King G2, there's going to be E3. And Sergey getting his king active. This is getting a little complicated.
So rook B3 next. I think rook B3 is there it is. Finally, there's no E3 for Black anymore. You can bring your king up, and he's going to go H4, G5, and so on.
Close his eyes, push the pawns. He's going to get H5 and F5 by Sergey, trying to break up his pawns. I don't like that move, though. Rook H8, rook G8.
But there's a pass pawn here for white.
F4.
Look at the extra time, Danya.
Got so much more time. King F3, Rook G1. Fabi should win this pretty easily.
And I think Sergey has to play Rook takes G7. Exactly. Because sometimes you expect your opponent to pre-move. Fabi, as we said, not great at pre-moving when he's in time trouble, but he doesn't need a pre-move when he's up 10 seconds like that.
Indeed. And a C3 Sicilian, Sergey likes that opening and bullet. He's got to get better positions out of the opening. He's taking a lot of time trying to survive in the opening, and that's setting Fabi up for success so far.
And we tend to see that when the better player is playing bullet, they can handle the opening stage very quickly, but it's what happens after that that's so essential. Right now, Fabi brings the queen to F6, go after the F3 knight. Bishop E4 was a nice move, but it feels like this position, it's about to get open, and it's going to be the black king in danger.
Yeah, knight takes C4. If the B file opens, white's going to go rook B1, queen A4, queen B3. He's up a pawn. This is actually really bad for Fabi.
He needs
queen A4.
I think bishop F5 was needed at some point, and maybe right now, get rid of that bishop on E4.
Because C5, bishop takes C6, and queen takes G4 is a threat there. That bishop on G4 is very loose.
That's exactly what's happening.
And Fabi blunders the piece.
You call the exact variation.
Well, and Fabi doesn't continue. I think the decision to resign there is a good one.
I'm with you there. So Fabi, he just gets that one over with. Sergey out to a 1-point lead, but now Fabi gets the white pieces once more. What's this knight on B6?
Well, what's the knight on C3? I think you want a pawn on C3.
You do. And you take with the pawn on E3, so now he's an semi-open F file. But black's bishop on E7. It's the only bishop on the board, but it doesn't really have anywhere to go. So that's what Fabi's counting on.
And Sergey trying to get his queenside pressure going, knight H5. Fabi circling black's king, but there just isn't enough firepower there yet to create any actual chances. Queen B6. This is looking pretty good for Sergey.
Sergey doing a great job. I mean, look at this. Bring all his pieces to active squares, but the F7 pawn, you need to keep an eye out on that square. Oh, knight D4?
Knight D4.
Maybe you don't need to keep an eye on it because
he doesn't miss those kinds of tactics.
Nope. White just loses material here, and some kind of rook 8, rook A7, because the king on G7 could fall to knight takes E6. So that's why he brought the king up.
Bishop G5 is also possible though, but Sergey calmly dropping the rook back. The pawn on D4 is what really concerns me. Bishop G5, Bishop E3. If white loses that pawn, he basically loses the game.
Very true. And he's trying to bring the knight to F3 to protect this pawn on D4. And rook A8. There's going to be some counterplay at some point for white.
There is. But he's got to go. G4 trying to.
Oh, rook A8. Rook A8 for sure.
Definitely rook A8. G4. Now he's giving black all the freedom that he wants on the king side, and Sergey rerouting his king. Finally plays it, but it's a little too late.
Rook G7.
Uh-oh. D8, rook G8.
Oh, what a move. But taking rook takes G5.
Oh, rook C2 check first. And now bishop takes F6.
Oh my gosh, king G3, there's like bishop D6 checks. That's why he brought his king back. And what's the material count? Even material somehow.
Even material. Time is also even.
Yes, but 95. 95 to G4.
Well, G4, G3. Sergey taking so much time there. King G6, though, dropping it back. He's going to win H4.
Well, he's up on top. Oh, 92. Wow, I thought it was a blunder.
What a move. Sergey's going to win this.
Yeah, he for sure is rook E6. He's too
it's
slow.
Not even close.
Bobby's too slow. Oh,
where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Oh my goodness! No way! No way! Wow. Bobby almost got him there.
He almost did. Oh my gosh. That was did a much better job pre-moving than in game one, but still just not quite fast enough. And now disaster. Total disaster for Fabi out of the opening.
Yeah,
you know why? Because he played the French.
I wasn't going to blame
the
specific opening, but you're right. And all right, so you have to play A6 here and the queen
F8 and knight C7. Bishop F8 was winning.
Just going like this, trading off pieces. Now this is terrible for Fabiano. Sergey, he's playing super well right now.
Yeah, he is. And, his openings are also pretty dangerous. He's got a good bullet repertoire. He can take on F8 whenever he wants and just get an exchange up, but he wants to milk more out of this position. Maybe rook A4 can be considered. Just goes H3.
Can't take on B5. So very good decision by Sergey to leave the bishop there. Because if you ever take on C6, then the king goes to D7. That's exactly what Fabi wants. Bishop D7, king D7. You're not even winning that rook on F8 anymore.
Nope. I would take on F8 at this point.
And there it is. But actually, knight B3. Yeah, knight B3 was a threat. So that's why I went rook A3.
Fabi doing a great job E5. He's gotten a little bit of imbalance here, but he's down on the clock. I don't see him pulling this one off.
Great king though on e5.
King knight c2.
C2.
Or maybe he will. Oh my God, d4 now. Black is better.
Yeah, king's coming to d4.
Black might be winning now.
Oh my gosh.
Making
King
me eat
C3.
my words. This is completely winning Sergey with a meltdown there.
King c
b5. Phenomenal moves by
b4.
Fabi.
Rook to
Rook a4.
Rook a. Yeah, this is b3 and king c3 coming. So b2 bishop.
Bishop c2.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and then bishop c2. He wins the tempo. No, he wants to stop the pawn. But g4. G4.
Okay.
What was g3?
Yeah, I don't know what g3 was. That seemed
That was a mouse
absolutely
slip.
wrong. Wait, but don't make a draw here,
Oh.
Fabi.
Whoa! No, he lost the pawn.
And we hit d2 d1.
King c3 is winning though.
Oh
d2
my
d2.
gosh. What a blunder.
Wait.
And he,
Oh,
bishop d3. Wow.
Beautiful.
And also, Fabi's up 8 seconds. I don't think we noticed that, but well
Sergey
done by
can't believe
Fabiano.
it. Amazing stuff. Fabi just resilient. It wasn't always smooth, but he kept himself in the game and he gets it to within one.
Yes. Well, I think that's why he was up so much time, because he wasn't prioritizing precision. He was just going for the clock. And look at this. He sacrificed a pawn. It was h4. He's going h5. He's going after Sergey's king. Fabiano already up 5 seconds and going for the attack.
Exactly how you want to play bullet.
Mm-hmm. And already difficult for Black to even make individual moves here.
Knight d4 though. Sergey, for now, staying on top. Queen d7. He wants to castle queen side. Get the heck out of the center on the king side.
Yes, and knight g3. Please take me on d3. I want to go for the g6 one. Knight f5. Okay, the bishop pair is going to be very dangerous. Queen h5 or rook h5 coming. The f5 pawn is loose. a4, a5. Play on both sides of the board here.
Queen c2. He takes f5. Fabi's still in control. Ooh. Sergey with a tricky little move. I think he wants queen a4.
But b3. And then if queen check, bishop d2. Yeah.
Exactly. Bishop d2, rook d1. Fabi totally dominated. He has to win this game.
Oh, I thought b4 trapped the queen, but it hung the c4 pawn instead.
Almost. Yeah. Queen c2.
Wow, look at that bishop on b2. But here comes g6,
G6.
g7.
Whoop.
Yeah,
Unstoppable.
This is one of these positions where you can hardly look at it, you know?
And queen h7 at the end, the cherry on top is going to win the other rook. Ugh.
Queen
He wants
c3.
rook a1.
Rook a1.
Look at that idea. Fabi is such a... That was devilish. And Sergey resigns. Tie match.
Yes, tie match indeed. Whew. Okay, so 3-3. This has felt quite balanced. I mean, it's all been up in the air, but both players are doing their part. And watch out for bishop f7 check. Don't take on e3 because of bishop f7.
E6 is a nice, prudent move. This is a line. But what now for white? CD, there's bishop b4 check.
Yeah, looks extremely unpleasant for white.
And if knight d2, you drop g2. This looks really ugly for Sergey.
And notice that Fabiano threw in the check first just to eliminate white's right to castle and then took that knight on a3, which he could have done initially. So Sergey, he's trying to be tricky. He's playing in the spirit of bullet chess, but right now he has no attack and his king isn't doing great. His pawn structure is terrible. So Fabi also up on time, and that's not good.
And Fabi's quality of play in particularly the first half of the game might be the highest of anybody in this tournament. I mean, he's playing great chess, period.
Yes.
And look at the way he's outplaying Sergey in this game, and it's not even close.
Oh, you play like f4 here.
Rook c3 is coming in.
Just no weaknesses at all in Black's position.
Knight takes f4. That's
Knight
another
f4.
pawn.
Yeah, just take d3 now.
Bishop
Knight
b4 is an exchange. He sees everything.
You see everything too. I was just going to play
And he
knight
wins the
d7.
queen. Jesus Christ, that was a crushing game. It wasn't even close.
Seriously, it's just like the last one when he could have went queen h7, which you suggested. He went queen c3 and rook a1. He is just finding all of these tactics. And I mean, he's up 4-3 right now. And knight d5, there it is. If you open the e file, that king on e8, not super happy about that.
He was down 1. Now he's up. He was down 2. Now he's up 1. Sergey is reeling, and he's got to do something.
And what is this variation? D4 coming. If white plays D4, I think Black should play E4 and just leave the bishop stuck behind his pawn on C3.
I thought white should have gone D4, tried to get D4 in sooner. Now Black is F5 in, so D4 is never an issue. I think Sergey's better here. This is a chance for him to tie the match.
Although look at that, queen A7 might be a nuisance. Queen B6 now, even better.
Maybe sack the pawn, go queen G6 F4.
You probably have to do something like that, but queen B7 hits the bishop on D7. A6 is gone too. This is
obviously white is winning, but Sergey trying to create counterplay on the king side. King H2.
Bishop G3, just pawn takes, I guess works. There's no F2 check with the fork.
No, but this is a complete paper tiger. Everything collapses here. Fabi just eating all the pawns. This is completely winning for white.
Nom 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 nom.
Rookie
Just give me
2. I
all.
mean, there's no threats. 0.
Just queen e5, and you can play queen takes g7, right? Just
Yeah.
not anymore.
Nope.
Stopped it.
Probably the position is unclear after queen takes g7.
Okay, but look at this. Just a7 at any point. He doesn't even want to allow pawn pushes. Rook e7 can be played. The f2 pawn actually helps White's king.
There isn't a single threat that Black can make. Not a single threat against White's king. Maybe go queen e4. Queen h1. Sergey trying and created a mate threat.
Queen
Fabi
right back
says,
to d4.
I'm taking it, and back to d4. Bishop c4.
d7, d8 pre-move.
Jesus.
Queen h4. Oof. And queen h8 check after queen h6 would have been the next final
and then
touch.
queen takes h6, queen g7. And this would be a break, I think. I don't think they're going to play this game.
Nope.
Sergey needs this break. He's down by 2. Fabi is on fire right now.
Yeah, Fabi was down 2. Now he's up 2. And we've seen the mouse speed happen because in the earlier games, he was just he just got stuck in cement, right? He wasn't just going and making any move that came to mind. He was trying to checkmate with that queen and rook in the first game. He, in fact, lost that one at a time. So impressive display by Fabiano.
Very impressive display indeed, but there's 15 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for Sergey to try to mount a comeback. We'll see who has got it in him.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break and return more second half from this matchup between Fabiano Caruana, Sergey Zhigalko. This is the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. We're back here in the Bullet Chess Championship. You saw Arjun stay alive. He eliminated Jordan von Forest in the earlier match today. And right now we are watching Sergey Zhigalko try to take down Fabiano Caruana. But right now, Danya, Fabiano, he is at a 2-point lead. He's been very impressive. What can Sergey do differently to right the ship in this match?
Well, I feel like the opening is absolutely crucial. I think the games where Sergey has jumped out to a good start, he gives himself much more of a chance. So the opening stage, and then Sergey just seems to get nervous when he's winning. A couple of those games, Fabi, pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Particularly that game with Sergey's queen on G7, that was crazy. Here we go, an Italian.
Here we go, Fabiano. He is playing quickly from the black side, but Sergey keeping pace, and it's a closed position. So I think it's a good idea for Sergey, honestly, because it makes some of the decisions more difficult, and he has been the faster player in the pure time scrambles.
And he really has to try to harness that. He has to try to use the clock to his advantage, play long games, keep a lot of pieces on the board for a long time. That's where his advantage lies.
And Fabiano, moving quickly, moving well. White slightly better here. C5, knight C4, knight D6 is the clear plan, but bishop E6 says, you go knight C4, I can just take you.
Although Fabi doesn't, he goes knight H5. Trying to get his own knight perhaps to F4, and he does. He's got more time on the clock, 40 seconds.
Yeah, he's playing in your style as well, right? Instead of just trading off pieces, let me go for the attack. And now the bishop on G7 feels a little bit better, and then it's shut down immediately.
Bishop takes C5, there's knight takes C6. Now E6 by Sergey, trying to create chances on the king side. This is what he has to do. This is exactly how he has to play.
Wow, what a tricky moment. He takes it, EF7, there's bishop F7. So at the very least, you're not losing a pawn, but the king is not safe. Yeah, this is bad news for Fabiano Caruana. He's up 5 seconds, though.
I think rook takes F4 is possible.
Oh, queen E5 coming?
G3?
G3, queen E1. Okay, so he trades queens, bishop D5. Not now, not bishop D5 because knight F6 check.
Rook F6.
That's a
and
problem.
Now the pawns are falling. Rook takes C6 was possible there. He goes for the G6 pawn instead. This is completely winning for white.
But look at the clock. Gives Fabi some chances.
98. Oh, what a move!
But there's no mate, so rook C7, rook C5.
Yeah, you can take C5, but knight takes D5, and I think white should be able to win that.
Oh, I don't like this going after the pawn. I think he should not have gone off the H6 pawn.
No, but he can't even take it.
Yeah, and Fabiano, his king is safe. He's up time, but ooh, knight G6 check.
Ooh, 95. Whenever there's a knight, there's trouble. Rook G4, but he attacks the knight. He pre-moves. Sergey's a little bit too slow here.
Just trade. Just go. Push the pawn.
Oh,
Bishop B3.
Stopping the
Bishop
pawn.
B3. What are you thinking about? Go.
Knight takes C2. White should be able to win this, but now it's close. Bishop takes C3. He takes a pawn.
Oh,
he pushed the king. But wait a second.
Just pre-move.
Oh.
And pre-move on the last rank. Go king G8 and just go like that. Exactly.
Oh.
Go,
He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it.
He got it.
Beautiful.
Whew.
Amazing technique by Fabi. He was so fast. He was playing perfectly at the end.
He did make the mistake of leaving the bishop too close to the enemy king. That's a huge mistake that with experience, he can fix that. But that was well done at the end, just pre-moving king F7, king G7.
I mean, I'm talking about the pre-moving and just the general speed and the time scramble. That's a big save there for Fabi. And he keeps his 2-point lead.
And this is another closed position, but it looks like knight B4 is going to hurt you at some point.
Ooh, like immediately. And you can't defend the pawn. You've got to go full steam ahead on the king side, but I don't see exactly how you do anything.
And Zhigalko has to just take on C2. He spent a bunch of seconds there. He is better on the board, but if you don't have the time to make it work, then is it really worth it?
King
oh
H8,
my gosh.
Fabi's sacking on G7. He wants to sack on H6, but I don't see any. Just take it.
Yeah, just grab all the pieces. H4, H5, the slow plan here.
Knight C2, but Sergey taking so long on these relatively simple moves. Just get the knight back to D4. Fabi getting his pawn to H5. He's only down a rook, quote unquote. Only.
You said that, and I was like, only? Okay, so the bishop has to move. It's under attack. Oh, you don't want to play bishop H2, but otherwise E5 was hanging.
Rook takes G4 is very practical too, eliminating any semblance of the attack. Fabi's only small chance, but it's not enough.
Yes, and the queen D5 centralization was great. Now the D3 pawn's under attack. The black king is perfectly safe here. So it should...
Knight H.
Oh, gosh. In comes that knight.
Queen D1.
Queen D1?
Rook H8 is mate, and it's over.
Very nice game from Sergey.
Smooth. Not knight B4. Maybe knight B4 won the game on the spot. Berlin.
Yeah, and okay, position is closed, so we have sort of an anti-Berlin going on here, and we like that game plan from Sergey because it leaves both sides more options, and Sergey has proven to be slightly quicker.
Yeah, he has. Okay, probably slide. Oh, a7 falls. And
A7.
b7 you can't take, but you can just drop your bishop back and you're up a full pawn.
But we saw Jordan steal Arjun's a7 pawn and then lose that game. So there's still a chance because it is only one pawn in a relatively close position for now.
Right. G3, stopping knight f4, and then he might go h4, expanding on the king side.
You called it. He does it. All right. So probably knight e7. There he goes to trade off pieces. And yeah, black obviously is worse. But now, if you get that knight into c5 and into b or d3, there's some chances to hold this position.
For sure. Although it's one of those games, Fabi's down some time on the clock, but he's making improvements to his position. Sergey hasn't made any progress whatsoever. Bishop c5. Fabi's got great pieces all of a sudden.
And it's what he was aiming for by putting his pawn on c4. He can even think about trading on e3.
I would have taken, try to get my knight to d3.
Oh, but that was really clever because now that white played f3, he wanted to keep the bishop on the board to go after the dark squares in the
Don't
attack.
like it. I don't like it.
How does white make progress though?
Takes queen e3 maybe. But then king g6.
Mm-hmm.
But Sergey's
look
got to
at
move.
the clock.
Or
Yeah, he's got to move. Okay, queen g1 checks a threat. Just go trade it. Oh my gosh, that's Fabi on a Caruana for you. He's down a pawn, and you're not supposed to trade.
Oh, but he's going to lose g4.
Yeah, well, okay. I said it, and he immediately lost.
King h5 and g5, and he's going to lose. A little too fancy there.
Yeah, but it was good recognition, right? From a overarching chess standpoint. He's got this. Oh, does he? 3 seconds? No, he has to have this promote.
Yeah, this is great technique by Zhigalko. Oh, less than a second, but he makes it happen. It's a tie match. Here we go.
And we have the forehead cam, and Sergey tied matches. This Alyakin has been working perfectly for him from the black side.
Sergey's eye, like the angle of his eyes is like tripping me out a little bit.
He's just staring into your soul down there.
Oh yeah, he is.
And this b4 square is coming very handy for him in this match. It's better for black.
Bishop c2 is a nice move too. Can't take that because of the fork.
Okay, take on c4 and play f5, right? You just have to go forward.
Boom.
Oh,
take e6. No.
F6, I want to play. Rook c1, what a calm move in a wild position.
F6, F6.
You have to play f6.
This is trouble for black. Yeah, it's so easy to get mated in a bullet game here. I mean, takes, queen g5, lobster pincer made ideas.
He takes it? Oh my goodness. King is wild, but king h8 and rook g8 coming. Oh, here comes the knight to e5, 95.
Great stuff from Fabi.
And then you want to go rook f3, rook h3, rook takes h7. Here it comes.
Yep, and he does. Knight c2, Sergey. Ooh, what a move.
Wow,
what
that's
a
actually
buzzkill.
What a move. And allowing
rook c2, queen
rook
d1.
c2?
Queen d1.
Oh, missed. But that still looks good. You're taking all the pawns. Rook g3, only move. Go.
Yes, no, but rook d8 is a huge threat. You got to go rook c8.
Rook d7.
Yeah,
okay.
White's attack evaporating though.
The attack is gone, but there's some chance. You can even play queen f4, trade queens, and then go after black's remaining pawns. Okay, bishop f1, good defensive move.
As long as there's a pawn on f6, there are chances for a back range. It's certainly taking a long time there to take that pawn.
Mm-hmm. And he's just down on the clock right now. Take on b7.
Oh, he's eliminated that pawn though. That's big. Now you can start pre-moving. King g7.
Oh, but Sergey, I mean, he's moving quite slowly right now.
Yeah, he is.
Queen c3 check or queen e5. Nice. Trade queens. Trade queens.
Trade and rook a7.
Oh gosh, that was decision made too slowly there.
E5. Both sides playing pretty slowly here. F4. Sergey's speeding it up. So is Fabi.
Trade queens. A5. Push the pawn.
Okay, here we go.
Just push. Push them.
Oh my God. Rook
F6.
e8. Both sides pushing their passes, but black's gonna
promote. Gosh. Rook f1. Good move.
But Fabi pre-moving. Sergey's got to eliminate his pawns. Sergey wins.
Yeah, Sergey is just winning these scrambles.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's up a point. Okay, Fabi entering must-win territory pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. And what an opening we're seeing here, right? In the fried liver. And these positions can be very risky for white, but white is up a pawn.
And now I don't think there's any more compensation. Knight f5. That bishop f5 idea was really nice to develop the other pieces.
And now, as you said, knight f5, so you trade knight d4. So these knights look very good for black, but you still are down upon a b3 at some point, just to make sure that you don't drop b2. G3. I don't know about G3. A bit risky,
That
but
creates a weakness, and Fabi trying to exploit it, but it's not quite good enough. Ooh.
couldn't take with the bishop without dropping B2. That's why I went for this, but
Still looks good for white. Really good for white. Rook E1, rook G1.
okay. But 97, trying to get rid of the 95. F4 is a target.
Yes, it is. And Sergey is spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to deal with that, and he doesn't see a good way.
Queen C7. Okay, Queen F6 probably also
Queen
good.
H4.
Queen H4 looks very pleasant for black, and now you have to watch out for back rank problems.
And now look at Fabi's clock. He's knight takes F4. No, it doesn't work.
Oh, it's
Bishop
doesn't.
F4.
But rook E2 and
Oh,
rook
he
B2.
just wants to- oh my goodness, what presence of mind. Rook G1 though, this is unclear.
Oh, I don't know. G5, what a scary move to make.
Bishop takes C5.
F4, and then just
And if-
move your queen.
Oh, but Bishop D4 is a huge threat. Queen C6. Uh-oh, now white's getting so much activity. How do you stop this?
You have to, I don't know, move your king, but you lose an exchange at the very least.
I think Fabi might lose this one. Bishop D4 check, and it's
Rook
mate on
G2.
F7.
Oh, and look at, you see the little fist bump by Sergey there?
The big win.
Huge. Still almost 5 minutes remaining. So Fabi just needs to stop losing. I know I'm asking for a lot. Sergey is very, very strong. And now somehow Fabi's down a pawn. What just happened?
He's just lost a pawn in the opening. He allowed BC and then played B3 by accident.
Wow. No, I think he was
Reeling.
pre-moving C4 and in a Catalan, but Sergey went B5 and just took the pawn.
Mm-hmm. No, this is not a good position for Fabi at all out of the opening. He needs a rabbit out of the hat right about now.
Okay, 94, great piece. So Bishop F1. I like going after the A6 pawn, but I could just went knight takes C5 if you were going after it directly. And wow, it's getting messy.
I think Sergey smells blood, though. He's playing with a lot of confidence. But knight takes C5, and at the end, there's
Queen
queen
D4.
D4.
Yes, or Bishop A3. So there are two
You win the pawn
separate
back.
issues. And still Bishop A3 ideas. No,
Bishop
what?
B4. Bishop B4.
Yeah, rook takes A6
Oh.
only move now, but that was a huge miss.
And now Bishop A3 is still active as Fabi.
F3 and then knight D6 coming.
Okay, knight D6 immediately. Trading knights. Bishop
Mhm.
C5, B4.
Okay, and you have a pawn and a bishop for the rook.
And 13
And-
seconds on the clock.
No, this is actually a great position for white for bullet. Just
B5, B6. Keep pushing.
push that pawn and then reroute your queen. B6.
If you're
Actually, B6
Sergey, I
queen-
would try to trade queens.
Yeah, B6 does queen takes D6. So getting the king off the back rank was important. Oh my goodness, is that a serious
Whoa.
move there?
Queen
Oh.
F3. He's rerouting.
Queen F3 has to? No, you use too much extra time here for Fabi.
Fabi has to win this one. This is, and Sergey taking more time. Oh my God, he's done 8 seconds.
But he wants rook A2, which is actually quite annoying. King
F6.
up! King E5!
Wow, King E5, King D6, amazing.
That was really
idea
nice.
by Fabi.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, rook B7. And a huge win for Fabi, who brings the deficit to within a point. 3 minutes to go in the match.
So he can draw this game and still get another game. That's clear,
Yep.
mathematically speaking. So he doesn't need to win this game, but you know he's going for it. He's playing the carrot.
But he needs to not lose it.
Knight A7. This is like some deep super GM stuff here. Knight's coming to
It's a knight
B5.
B5. Jeez.
Yeah, seriously.
He's pulling that one out of his preparation for Magnus.
And with the knight, oh my gosh, G5, knight G6 to follow. Black's so solid here.
Fabi is speaking another language here in this game.
Queen D5, it's going Queen
And he's got
E4.
a
Yep.
great position.
What is happening?
Queen F5. How many moves are being made with the same pieces?
Rook D8?
His
I
queen
would-
is a little bit stuck there. G4 could trap the queen potentially.
Yeah, but he's spending too much time right now. Knight H4, all right.
Back to E2 goes Sergey. Fabi wants
Oh.
H5, G4 maybe.
Yes, he does. And the double H5 is knight H6. So
Oh,
Queen
nice.
G6 back.
Now H5 is a threat.
It really is. And Sergey was F3, so H5 for sure. Oh gosh, this dark square is now available to black's pieces.
Sergey is way too slow. He's down 10 seconds on the clock. Knight G3 attacking the queen.
Knight back. All right, fine. Don't make a draw here. Bishop B4. He's gonna trap the queen. Knight G3 traps the queen. This
Oh my
is-
God, no. We bled E3, but he blundered a fork.
Oh.
Knight E4 though. Knight E4 is coming, and Sergey's going to get big time pressure on black's weak squares.
Okay, Bishop E7 defending F6 and
Or
D6.
Rook G3. Oh, Knight D6 maybe sacks the
Just take
exchange
it.
back and then play G takes H3.
But the rook is covering. King D7.
Ooh, Queen F2, Rook F1.
F5 is a nice move though. The knight on D5 is just an
Knight is a
absolute
monster. Fabi up 10 seconds on the clock. He has
Queen
some
C1.
time management. Oh, but Rook H7 is a threat. Watch out. Black's
Oh,
king is in
goodness.
trouble. How do you
Oh.
stop it?
King C6.
Oh, D7 though. D8 knight is a potentially a threat.
I love D8 knight as a concept.
Oh my god. F4,
Take it
to buy himself some time.
Yes. And pre-move's happening.
Oh,
E5,
here we
E4.
go. E4 attacking the queen. D5 check. He
Oh,
I blundered
no!
the queen. Oh my god. Check.
Knight F1.
Oh my god. Is it going to be mate queen B6? Oh, Sergey's
He
not
runs
going
the
to
king
make
away.
it. Sergey's not going to make it.
Oh
What a
my
shot.
goodness.
Fabi Tyson.
Oh my goodness. He just,
Oh my god.
even
Here we
if
go. This is what it all comes down to.
even if he didn't take queens or pieces hanging, he understood how to pre-move, and that's why he
Yes.
won the game. It is tied.
Knight F1
Woo.
check. He
Yes.
forced Sergey anti-pre-move moves. Those are the hardest ones to make. You can tell that the experience is shining through. This is the deciding game.
And look at that knight move going to G4. Wants to gain some space. The knight can go to E3 and into F5.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't do it yet because-
Sergey with a nice position here.
Yeah, he does. Queen F1, C4 could be a target later in the game, but King A2, Pawn G3, not now. Queen F2 first, and then now White can expand on the king side.
Most of
H4.
Fabi's matches coming down to the
Wait,
wire.
G4? Oh my
Knight
gosh,
F5,
that
where's
queen's
the
up was
queen's gonna
trapped.
go? If you take it, you might get your queen shot with G4. Sergey's in
Yeah.
trouble. And if no, he didn't do that. But DE, rook takes C5. Okay.
But I see your
Sergey
point. You're
down to
trying
30 seconds. He's down 10 seconds on the clock. He's in trouble.
Oh my gosh, DE now. Or C5 for White. He's got to play those kind of moves.
Can Fabi go G5? He's thinking about it. He blocks the center. Sergey goes G5 to stop all of the threats.
Oh no, this is not good news for Fabiano.
Knight F8, Knight D7, Knight C5.
Yeah, this is not what you want. Rook B5. You have to play like this.
Could this be a draw?
It should be, but I'm worried. Even if
But-
Fabiano's ahead in the clock, I'm worried for his time.
Yeah, but if you might play rook takes C5 at some.
Oh!
What
Sorry.
an idea!
Okay, but it actually helps Black
But
out.
it's not. It's going with the A file. Now Black's got activity. No, it's going to backfire for Fabi. Knight takes A4. Now Sergey's rooks are screaming in.
Yes, here comes the first one, and then the second one, Rook G1 check. I think he missed Rook G1.
Sergey. F6, huge
Queen
activity.
seven, Queen
Oh my
seven.
God. Queen
Take
H6. Now Fabi's queen is running amok.
Okay, C5.
It's
There
C5.
it is.
Here comes from the other side. D6.
D6.
No.
Queen E4 mate. It's mate. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Look at Fabiano. You always say you drink water when you do something right.
Oh
That is the
my
Fabiano finale, the knockout
God.
punch. That is checkmate on the board, and Fabiano sails through.
That is disgusting right there. And a heartbreaker for Sergey. And Fabi on demand. He wins the previous game, and then he wins this one after, yeah, he was on the other side of that against Tang. Oh, my lands. What a match. What a match.
Did he just win 3 games in a row? Wasn't he down 2 points?
He was down 2 points with like 3 minutes to go. Unbelievable. Wow. And against Sergey Zhigalko, one of the great bullet players on planet Earth. My goodness.
Well, that was unbelievable stuff. Fabiano rolled there down the stretch, wins 3 in a row, got the turkey, and he moves on to the next one. We're going to move on, but first we're going to take a quick break. Then when we return, there is more action to come from the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something.
You know, hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my queen side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell?
Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.
Would you like to work as an esports producer for the #1 chess site in the world? Chess.com is looking for a top-notch producer to join our talented and passionate team. Work remotely, producing live streams of the biggest chess events and help shape the landscape of online chess entertainment. Go to chess.com/jobs now to learn more about this opportunity. You may even have a chance to work with myself and Danya producing our shows. We look forward to seeing your applications. But for now, we're in the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. We have two matches in the books. Fabiano Caruana, Arjun Aragaisi, they are moving on within the losers bracket. And up next, we have Alexander Bortnick and Eric Hansen, Danya. I mean, how do you pick between these two superstars?
It's incredibly difficult. I think Bortnick is probably the more consistent of the two. When Eric is good, he's completely unstoppable. But he has his ups and downs. Bortnick, I mean, maybe a little bit of a favorite on paper, but I can see this going either way. I mean, I really could.
Yeah, these two are they're really a toss-up on paper. These two players are just super strong, but I agree with you that I think that Bortnick has proven over time to be extremely consistent. And that doesn't mean that Eric is going to come out here and tilt. Of course not, but some players are more tiltable than others. And I do think that Bortnick has shown extreme consistency throughout many of his matches. And the expression Bortnick strong was from the Bullet Chess Championship a few years ago when he made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, Bortnick, it's very hard to tilt. He keeps his composure. He's ridiculously fast in time scrambles. Probably, together with Andrew Chang, the fastest time scrambler that I know. And they're off. Bortnick with the white pieces in game one.
Look at that rating for Bortnick, 3185. So he actually is the favorite by rating, and we talked about his prowess. But Eric, he's playing quickly. He probably has some confidence from his great performance in the Air Things Masters. That was rapid time controls, but still, it can translate into other formats as well. But right now, down a closed position, Eric well ahead in the clock.
He's ahead on the clock. It's a Lopez. He likes these kinds of positions, and they're kind of poking and prodding at each other. Bortnick is, he's using up a lot of time here with not much to show for it just yet. Okay, the center has opened up.
Black is better, and with the extra 10 seconds. So Eric probably not like what he wasn't even hearing, but didn't like the notion that he is the underdog. But right now, he's just doing everything right from the black side.
G6, shutting down the knight. He's better. H5, H4 is an idea in such positions. Bortnick trying to get active, doing whatever he can, and he's rerouting his pieces nicely. Queen B4.
Oh, I thought Queen was trapped for 7. Queen A7, what a find
Knight
there.
C5. And now if the knight gets to D3, that's going to be a death knell for white.
That's why Rook D7 back is probably even a good move to get the knight to D3. That can also go to B3. This is not looking good for Bortnick.
H5, Eric playing on all sides of the board, and still the position so full of life. In 12 seconds, that's just not going to be enough time, and he blunders the knight. Eric with an incredible first game. I mean, he wins the other night.
Just honestly, a more or less perfect bullet game.
And Bortnick with but he doesn't need, who needs that anyway?
Not Eric. Just Queen G3. Oh my goodness.
Forcing the queen trade and taking all of his pawns. And you can see that Bortnick doing his very, very best to force stalemate and mate. Wow.
He did force a mate, just wasn't stale.
Not stale, yeah. It was fresh.
Well, look at this. Eric Hansen, 1-0 thus far. And Bortnick going to the Alyekin. So Zhigalko played it against Fabiano. Now Bortnick playing it against Eric Hansen. Not very popular in classical chess, but it's a good weapon, I guess, in bullet.
And Bortnick actually does play it in classical. He plays it all the time in blitz and bullet. So he just feels very comfortable with it. He knows the ideas, and he's got a great position out of the opening. That bishop looks really lame. And so Eric trying to change the course of the game by opening up the queen side.
Yeah, it's going to be a knight on a good dark square against a bishop on a light square, and the bishop can't attack anything. It's a very defensive piece for the time being. But Rook C7, a nice try, hitting the B7 pawn. And Queen D8. The rook was trapped.
Forcing an exchange sacrifice. The pawns look impressive, though. C6. Yeah. Whoa. You shouldn't allow that. Now C7 and D6. The pawns are just going through.
Okay, can you just trade and play C7? I think you can.
Bishop G4 and win the game on the spot.
That was available. Dark square blockade.
Yeah, the blockade and the pawns aren't moving that easily anymore.
But what you really probably want is a bishop on D6 instead of a rook, right? Just to like cover all those dark squares.
Yep, and Bortnick trying to create counterplay on the king side.
Rook b6.
Okay, he takes another pawn. Now takes in rook b7, but then you take and go rook b6, and somehow black is hanging on.
And the f2
Rook
pawn.
f7.
Okay, missed rook f7, but he had to go after the f2 pawn.
No, now rook b7 is very simple, I think.
Rook e.
Okay, he just gets his king into d4 and then to c5. This should be a win for Eric. Last chance for Bortnick.
Look at the clock. Look at the clock.
Oh, Eric's at 6 seconds. Sorry,
Yeah.
I misread. Eric's
No.
on 5 seconds. He might get flagged.
Uh-oh. But he's moving
Probably
really
will
quickly.
get flagged.
Here go the pawns. Taken.
Oh, queen!
Push him.
Nobody's not going to make it. He's not.
Wow.
Close. My goodness, Bortnick ties the match.
Bortnick
Time for
had
flagging.
so much time there. I mean, he was getting pummeled over the board, but he saw that the clock was an opportunity for him, and now it's 1-1.
And Eric missed several opportunities there. He's going to be kicking himself. I mean, particularly, he could have promoted that pawn when he had 20 seconds on the clock.
That's right. And now we're in a queenless position where white has more space. The pawn d6 could become a target, but it's hard to actually get at. So I think that Bortnick, he probably likes his spatial edge. He's doing well on the board, but the clock situation is favoring the player with the black pieces, third game in a row.
He's doing well on the board.
Oh, you had to do it, didn't you?
I did. I was roasting that for a very long time.
Oh, bishop e5 and knight takes e5 to follow, or just this way?
That's just one check. It's a paper tiger. And then bishop f4 and rook d7.
Yeah, rook d7 is going to lead to a mating attack, so black needs to be very careful.
Yeah, knight f6 might be necessary.
And played. And the rook goes the d5, king out. Makes sense, but you know, it's not that simple to win this game for white.
And black is a knight. I mean, perhaps not anymore. Yeah, not anymore, but now there's opposite colored bishops.
Right. Objectively, this position probably with best play should be a draw. But look at the clock situation. Black is actually ahead on the clock, even though white's up a pawn.
Rook d3 and
Rook e2.
Eric circling the pawns, but now rook h7 is going to win f7 and b7 is going to fall too. And you can't take b2.
Oh, that's huge, because if you had rook takes b2, white's pawns are falling. All right. Up
Here
4
go
seconds,
Bortnick's
though.
Pawns. Eric stopping them. He's just got to prolong the game as long as possible. Get those seconds off Bortnick's clock.
And he could have taken the pawn to h3, but he gave a check instead, probably eliminating a pre-move. Oh, here go the
come
pawns,
the a-pawn. Uh-oh. He's just one step away from promoting.
Oh, a7 rook b8 check. He has it at any moment.
Okay. One, he's going to take the pawn.
a7, play it.
Hey, both sides pre-moving.
Oh,
check.
his king's in the way.
Oh, king b3 though. Eric pre-moving. Oh,
what a pre-move.
He wins.
Oh my goodness. But Eric had a brilliant pre-move of rook c6. He captured that rook there. He just didn't have enough time remaining.
Incredible. And Bortnick, by the skin of his teeth, he wins the second game. He's got a 1-point lead. And very important not to get tilted here for Eric. Very, very important. This is where he tends to slide off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And Bortnick, speaking of sliding, he brought queen to b6, a6, a7, just sliding that piece around at e5. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, knight h2, knight e3, and now it's crushing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't let this happen. You've only got 30 minutes.
Yeah, you can't, and you can't miss those one movers, right? The
that
queen
bishop is going to be in Eric's nightmares.
The queen and the knight just teamed up on f2, and it wasn't protected. So
resigns.
Bishop c5. It's not quite mate.
D5. It was knight c5.
Interesting.
Bishop g5, knight e4. My goodness, Jesus! This never ends. This assault just for knight d3 bishop is doing every time. He just keeps dropping him back
Free
and then back
piece.
forward.
Yeah, free piece now.
Rook f2, winning back to b. No, just kidding.
You can just take the bishop, and yeah, this is sufficient. 2
800.
minor pieces.
And 800 pawns and mate on f2.
Wow, actually, that was a pretty nice mate. And black has plenty of time.
Yeah. Oh, right, there goes another one. Eric is doing his best, actually, but he's surprisingly resilient.
Yeah, actually, this felt like this game should have been over already, and now almost stalemate. Yes. So if you go rook h8 check.
Rook takes b7 would have been a good attempt there.
No, but your d pawn would have had to move.
Oh, that's right.
Now he's going back to g4, and also black's up time and winning on the board.
Yeah, and another pawn is gone. And another win for Bortnick, and this is a pivotal moment in the match. Absolutely pivotal.
And honestly, credit to Eric for surviving that long, because I thought the game would have been over after queen takes f2, but to even get that down to the end game like that, it's a sign of a great bullet player.
That's a free pawn.
Yikes.
97, that's a free piece.
Oh, you said it. You got to stop tilting.
He completely tilted right now. Completely tilted.
You just down a piece. Bishop G5, Queen G6, 97.
Ugh. Rook D6 traps the queen, basically.
Yeah, 96 also would have won material.
96 was even better. Now he plays 96.
Okay, knight B7 is possible because Queen F2 is not made.
Yep, it is. And Bortnick doing a good job verifying that. Okay, take B7.
Alexander, yeah, there it goes.
Coffee time.
It's one of these positions where there's still 25 seconds, plenty of time when you're up all these pieces.
And okay, there's just no chances there. Yeah, that is more than enough time for Alexander. And he's good at 30-second chess as well.
It's just 4-1 all of a sudden, right? Eric wins a game and then Bortnick storms back.
I mean, that last game was tilted away completely.
And right now, Eric is, he's fine. His position is good. It's solid. It's not anything of note, really, but White is doing well.
Yeah, weak pawns for Black. Knight C4, Knight D6 is an idea in such positions. He's up on time. Here comes the Knight to C4. He's got to win this game. Yeah, I mean, really does.
And Knight B6, where's that rook going? Rook C6.
And you got to give up the D file, but he tries to contest it with his other rook. Knight A4, maybe.
Rook D2, there's Knight C4.
Oh. It's Knight takes E4, Knight takes E3. Jesus. Bortnick somehow always knows how to complicate it.
Yeah, it was perfect. Trading off. Now you can even take on C4 if you want, but Bishop F6
Black
first
is better all of a sudden.
Oh,
this is ridiculous. Rook B3.
Two bishops are good.
Bishop C3 would win the pawn. Oh man.
This wasn't even tilt, just great defense by Bortnick.
Great play by Bortnick. Oh, and that's tilt.
Yeah, that is not good. Eric is going to need this break. So if he can just stop losing for now, the break will not come soon enough.
I mean, it's a 4-point lead, and if Bortnick wins this one, it'll be a 5-point lead. I mean, this just gets out of control really fast. Eric, he has to turn this around right now.
Okay.
And he's got a passive, not great position at all.
So he's going to play Knight D5 net. Oh, okay. Well, Bishop before stops that. I was going to say he's playing Knight D5 and charge.
Queen D3 and Rook E6, another terrible blunder. Rook takes C6 after G6. He walked right into that. Eric nonstop. This is destruction right here. And Eric won the first one, right?
Yeah.
He won the first one. He lost the next 6.
It's why the expression Bortnick strong exists, because you see how powerful this chess player is.
Bortnick is, and it's this combination of skills. He's got this unbelievable resilience, right? He gets a bad position. He finds every little trick. His time scramble ability. He's got pretty good openings for bullet. It's the whole shebang. But he's got a really bad position here. This is a chance for Eric to win before the break and take some deep breaths.
But what's been interesting is that Bortnick has had a time deficit every single game. Like right now, he's down 10 seconds. So it's one of these things where it's working out for him thus far, but I can see later in the match that if he continues to be down so much time, that could spell trouble for him.
I think this one is over. Queen F7 is coming. Maybe he has to go H6 here and create some lift for the king. I think he also might just resign.
H6 is a good try. Bishop F6. Bishop,
no, this has to
Bishop
be
E5? Oh, then it's Queen E3. He wants
Bishop
Queen
E5,
E3.
Queen E3. Oh my God, does that win a piece for Black? No, but then you can move your bishop if you want.
Queen E3. But no, but this at least keeps the game going, although White's up so much
managed to trade queens.
Yeah, he's unbelievable right now.
He's got a passer now. I mean, this is a game. If he had a little bit more time, this would be more competitive.
A3?
He lost he loses the pawn. Oh, and he loses the exchange. Good stuff by Eric there.
Great
Big
move.
win. Big win, and he's going to get another one in it before the break, and he has to win that one too.
And smart from Bortnick, play it out. You're up many points in this match. Just waste some of the match clock. That's good strategy.
Indeed.
Okay, and here we go, Sicilian.
Okay, at the same time. C3 Sicilian is Bortnick's bullet weapon. He plays the same openings that he does in Blitz and Classical. which I think is a great strategy because you know them better.
But why does he keep spending so much? What's he doing? Where'd he go?
He's just stretching. He's like, is he doing yoga in a bullet game? Like, what are you doing? And he's smiling while he's doing it. And
Yeah,
Eric, why did Eric take all that time too?
I have no idea.
Do they think it's a classical tournament or something? And Eric blundering upon it exactly the same way for no reason.
Oh, there was a kid
E6.
walked on stream.
Probably Bortnick's kid.
Yeah,
I know Bortnick as a kid.
He's like, I'm playing, I'm busy. Sorry, go away.
Son, one day you'll understand.
Yeah, well, right now, Bortnick, despite the distraction at the beginning of the game, he's up a pawn. His queen is very active. Rook coming down to c7. It's a
Bishop takes
great
d5.
position for him. Bishop d5, knight d5,
Or
rook
rook
e1
d5,
check.
and then a
That's
d1, and he finds
Wait.
it.
But knight d5, rook e1, just king. Oh, king up. And
Oh my God, there's 97 in the end. Bortnick taking forever to calculate that. H5.
H5.
What a distracting the queen.
oh,
Wait a minute. The queen H7 maybe was better. Now rook d5 again. Rook c8. Rook c8.
and rook c8 now after queen d5. That is beautiful.
Oh my lands. What a calculation.
That was ridiculous.
What incredible calculation by Sasha Bortnick. That's insane. And they're going to abort this one, I think. And Bortnick back up by 5 going into the break.
That was an incredible sequence. I mean, the guy gets distracted by his child and is unfazed.
Maybe even helped him. I mean, who knows? That's crazy. Bortnick up by 5 is in control of the match. Eric needs to turn this around completely. He needs a 180.
Well, he'll get a little bit of a breather right now. He gets a break. We're midway through this match between Alexander Bortnick and Eric Hansen. So more to come from the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean when we return. And return here for our third match of the day in the losers bracket, the elimination pool of players. Alexander Bortnick currently with a huge lead over Eric Hansen, 7-2, Danya. This has been our most lopsided matchup of the day.
Yeah, I mean, Eric winning the first game, things seem to be going okay for him. And then all of a sudden, Bortnick just better in every way, not tilting, playing fast, good openings. Eric needs to turn this around right now.
And the good news is, because we've talked about Eric being a streaky player, that he can string together about 4 straight victories. That's the type of player he is. When he's feeling it, he's on fire. So Bortnick, he may not tilt, but he has to watch out because Eric is very capable of mounting a comeback here.
Absolutely. And a journey of 5 points begins with a single step. And that step is to win this game. But Eric already allowing B5, off to a bad start in the opening already.
Yeah, playing bishop e2, then to d3. It's wasting some time. Black's expanding, but it's not like there wasn't any trouble.
It's complicated,
Knight comes back to b2, but white center is phenomenal right now.
Yep, knight c4 maybe. Yep, Eric. No, now a5 is falling. This is how he gets it done. Bortnick's position all of a sudden starts to fall apart at this.
Wow.
Rook e4, but then rook e4 and d5.
Yeah, that's a really nice sequence.
See how quickly does he see this stuff? It's ridiculous. It's uncanny.
Yeah,
now he's got the big knight on d5.
Bortnick's a beast. He's down a pawn right now, but as you're saying, he's got a blockade. The a2 pawn could be targeted, and h6 just make sure you have love for the king, and probably bring the queen over to a3 at some point.
A lot of stuff going on in the center. There's tactics with queen d5 potentially, and knight e7 that have to be watched for. Queen c4. I'd play queen c4.
He's just pushing that pawn up. He doesn't care. He's up time.
Knight b8. Knight b8.
Oh,
and it's winning. And Eric's going to win a game here. Here we go.
That was a very nice game by Eric.
I just realized Bortnick. I think Bortnick's wearing the exact same shirt as me.
He's also
I literally have that shirt.
Well, you also are a great bullet player. So something about the shirt and the bullet skills. Do I need to get that exact shirt? Is that what you're telling me?
I think you did. That is the secret ingredient.
Okay, good to know. I'll make sure to ask you where you got it from. But for now, Bortnick up 4 points. He has the white pieces, the pair of bishops, but Black has this huge blockade on d5.
That knight on d5 is excellent. Bortnick trying to expand on the queen side. Bishop f5, great move. Contesting White's bishop. Eric with another nice position here. Rook a d8, rook f e8.
And once again, he has a lead on the clock.
And that's really the key. I think for Eric, having 3-4 seconds on the clock is super important. And rook a8, maybe knight e5.
There's knight c4 tactics, but said knight e5, take queen e6. Queen d3 is going to be uncomfortable.
Knight c4 at some point as well. Bishop f5, Bortnick trying to get active.
Love me a good rook lift. Great move, queen g5
though.
And
knight e5 and f6.
Goes bishop back, so he gives up the pawn and gets active.
That's a nasty little move. Rook c1, I think, is forced.
Yeah, but look at Black's activity. A3 is hanging there, and the knight goes back to b5.
He's up by 10 seconds now, blockading the pawn.
Rook g6, but that pawn is running.
And now Bortnick getting active. Bishop
takes c7.
He should have done c6 there.
Rook e3. Okay, he's going to win the pawn this way. Eric's going to win on time.
I think so, but it's going to get close. And this is where Bortnick excels. He's so incredibly fast and accurate in these positions.
So rook d3, rook b3, go to b3.
He's sliced Black's time advantage down to a couple of seconds only, but it might be enough.
Yeah, he's dropping some pawns here. Rook takes h3. Oh, rook h3 because he's going to take on b4.
Oh, excellent stuff by Eric. Now he's completely winning.
Yes.
Don't get mated there.
Both players.
It's over.
Pre-moving. Only one of them has time left, though.
It's not even close. Yep. And another one for Eric, and he gets this down to within 3.
That's what we're saying. When Eric's feeling it, watch out.
Right. He can win games fast, too. Bishop f4, and Alekhine once again.
But Eric changed his opening. It's the Alekhine time and time again, but he changed the way he's reacting to it.
Not very impressive out of the opening, although he forces Bortnick to give up a bishop.
And again, a 5-second lead on the clock for Eric Hansen.
Yep. H4, Bortnick freezing the pawns, but that pawn could end up being a weakness.
That's right. Bishop f2 at any moment, like now, attacks the pawn. And if you play g5, well, then you're creating some problems in black's position. So he pushes c5, e3 is something to watch out for.
So if you go bishop e2, you'll run into e3 and you lose the piece.
Yeah, that would be a tragically awful move.
I would double on the e file if I'm Eric, just to stop e3.
So rookie g4.
Ooh.
That's a way of stopping e3.
That's a very bold move, but it creates more weaknesses on the king side. Knight d4, knight f3 now an idea.
Oof.
How do you stop that?
You don't really. And Bortnick,
Knight d4.
He's feeling it right now. You can tell. Knight d4, good move.
This is
E3.
not looking good at all for Eric. He's
and then Rook
knight f5.
Uh-oh. Rook c3. Watch
Now
out.
e3, bishop d3.
Okay.
Eric's holding on, and he's still up on time.
Yeah, that's unbelievable stuff. The
A5.
a5 is going to be a big move at some point.
Rook e1, and you can't go knight f3 because of rook takes e3.
That was
F3.
overlooked. And a5 still rook c5.
Uh-oh, now black's position is starting to fall apart at the seams. e4 was hanging. You could have taken that. Oh, knight f4 now. Now Bortnick takes all the pawns.
And Bortnick down a couple seconds here.
Oh, but he starts to pre-move, and Eric's not pre-moving yet. He wins the rook.
Okay, but
It's still
now,
not over.
now
GF
black has more
bishop
time.
d4. And white's going to win. I think Eric's going to win.
Oh, he's moving a bit slowly.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, take any three.
Whoa.
Take any
Take
three.
any three. Take any
Go.
three.
Just pre-move.
Pre-move everything. Eric's going to
Okay.
win. Eric's going to win.
Yeah, he
And
won.
Eric wins another one. Oh, my God. And Bortnick can't believe it.
And
2
Eric's
points from down 5 to within 2.
Eric is not reacting. You see his face?
Well,
He's just
good game,
he's
buddy.
focused. Yeah.
Go,
he is laser focused right now. And what is
And
happening in
he's
this
laser
game?
lost. He's going to resign right out of the opening.
What just
What did he
happened?
just do? He doesn't have a single piece developed. Oh my God, what a terrible game for Eric. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
You win a bunch of games in a row and then you lose a miniature.
I mean, I didn't even see what happened. It didn't even register in my mind.
I
How
didn't
do you
see either.
do that? Ugh.
But he's better
Now
with the
it's
white
3,
pieces.
but still, he's got 8.5 to go and plenty of time to win 3 games.
Just don't play e5 because knight takes e5 would have been attacked.
Now Bortnick plays e5.
Okay, bunch of tension in the center. Trades. Oh,
Queen c5, knight g4. Ooh.
oh, knight g4.
Knight
Knight h5.
Ooh. Knight d3.
Knight d3.
Oh,
Oh.
goodbye. That's all she wrote. And Eric, all of the momentum just disappeared.
And
Bortnick, what does he do?
Mm-hmm.
What did
I know
tell?
exactly.
Oh, there we go. The sip of the tea.
Yes. That's a happy Bortnick.
Just terrible game. Absolutely unacceptable. Just totally unacceptable.
Oh,
Sorry,
gosh.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Queen f3?
or bishop f7.
Queen f6, though.
Oh, yeah. All right, Robert.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing, right?
Spoil the party. Bishop f7 now, but it's not. Doesn't come with the same effect.
But you probably should still do it. Oh, this I don't like it so much. Knight d4 is going to happen at some moment. All right, so knight d8 instead. Isn't black just totally fine here?
Yeah, no, black is totally fine. But it's not enough to be fine. He needs to win. Taking rook e5.
Ooh, you spotting your tactics. Rook e5 still available. But now rook e5 is not as good.
No. Okay, knight e6. Eric controlling those weak dark squares on the center.
Knight d4. Okay, queen d7 hitting d3. Looks good as well. Knight f4 coming. Queen
Queen
A4.
a4.
Oh,
This is an A
gosh.
for black. Bortnick trying to prolong the game. At this point, you got to bleed that clock down.
But the d3 pawn's going at rook takes
Ooh.
d4.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Knight e2, knight e2.
Knight e2.
Okay, just take everything.
Rook d1. Oh, Bortnick trying to defend mate.
And really good pre-move by Eric, by the way, to play rook d7. Just saving you just half a second is so
Eric
important.
is playing
this stage.
so
Queen g4.
much better, but will it be enough?
Yeah, I think it's enough in this game. Push. No, don't. Good. Rook a6, light squares.
a2, rook d8, take the bishop, win the game. Bortnick's going to take on a2 at some point.
Yes, he will. Right now.
Eric should win this
Push the
easily.
G pawn. Easy.
Yeah, and it's even better to have rook and queen than 2 queens, because with 2 queens, you can accidentally stalemate.
That's right.
3-point game, 6 to go in the match. There is enough time to play 3. I think.
Right.
Yeah, there is. No, there definitely is.
Yeah.
But Eric has to win all of them.
And the score is nice, but it's nice for Bortnick, unfortunately, if you're an Eric Hansen fan. But the chess bra, he's given it his all, and he has more space again.
He has more space, got a nice position out of the opening. Bortnick trying to free himself with e5.
Okay, bishop c5. Reasonable choices. And Bortnick loves just taking control of a color complex.
Yeah, he does. But Eric is the one taking control over the center here.
It's nicely centralized queen.
Somebody in chat says, Tanya Cumming is strong with the math. That is my specialty, as everybody knows.
Oh, b5 doesn't work because rook c8.
Yep.
Exactly. The bishop on a phone would take the pawn on b5.
Eric up 10 seconds. He's got a fantastic position here.
And good decision to take with the pawn. If you took with the rook, then b5 would have worked. So knight c3, knight e5. I mean, this is complicated.
Yeah, knight f5 though. The knight rerouting, and then the d pawn's going to march forward at some point.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
d6.
Wait, don't make
Knight
a draw.
e7, queen d8.
Queen.
Eric should win this one.
Yeah,
Bishop
knight
e2
c5.
though. Bortnick getting counterplay.
Knight c5. There it is. Where's the rook going to? Queen d8 is rook e8. So d7. No, it's covered.
And if rook d8, knight b7. No, I don't see Bortnick
Knight
defending this
b7
at all.
And look at the extra time for Eric here.
GK, bro. Yeah, knight takes e4.
The funniest part is like, it's not an accurate impression, but it's
No,
so
it's
funny.
not anything like Eric.
It's so funny. Oh, well, this is enough extra material for Eric to pre-move and win.
Barely, but yeah. Okay, 2-point game, 4 minutes to go. Here we go.
And the thing about this is Eric can go 1.5 out of 2 because he has enough time to start that third game. So he doesn't need to force a win out of a position that may not be winning or even have chances to win. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to take ridiculous risks. You got to be aware of the clock situation. And he's got control over the d5 square. Another nice position out of the opening and more time for Eric Hansen. Is Bortnick getting nervous here? He's frozen.
Yeah, he likes these positions, but he's not moving. And I don't see his kid jumping in his room. So it just seems like he's making a hash out of this.
He has made a complete hash of this. Eric is much better and up 20 seconds. Ridiculous. I mean, this is winning for Black. Unless you blunder your queen here, which he doesn't.
How many extra pawns is it? Just 2?
2 for now. Just 2. How many do you want?
More than that. Queen c3 looks pretty good.
He gets back in this match.
Wait, queen c3 is bishop h7 check. I just blundered a queen.
Well.
Ooh, there it is.
Queen b3.
Yeah, but bishop f6.
But then GF
and rook d3. Yeah.
Queen d5. He stabilizes. He's still up a lot on the clock. Okay. I thought he blundered his rook.
Where's the queen going? Queen d.
I don't know. And neither does Bortnick. His clock is evaporating, fading 10 seconds. He blunders the bishop. It's over.
The bishop on c3 is gone. Oh,
okay. He should have taken a queen c2 though. Queen c2 on the rook.
But Bortnick has no time.
Nope. And it's an end game. There's just no way he's pulling this one out. And he hung bishop
immediately.
Okay. Oh my god.
Bortnick laughed and he's just like, what can I do? But this is what we're talking about. Eric Hansen, he received that 15-minute break. Excuse me. After the first 15 minutes, he had that break perfectly timed, and now he's roaring back.
From down 5 to within 1, and it's 2 minutes left on the match clock. He's even got enough time to make a draw here, and he's got the white pieces. And the way he's been going, he's been getting great positions out of the opening.
That's right. I would, if you're Eric, you need to know that a draw is okay. What was that? Knight h4, knight f3.
Okay, but I wouldn't make a draw this early.
No, especially with the white pieces.
I don't like d5.
But look at the clock, Danya. Every single game.
Eric's always up on time. Always.
But Bortnick is saying, I'm going to take his d5 pawn.
That's getting a little bit flimsy for white. He blunders c2. Okay, he takes a7 though.
And the outside a pawn gives him chances.
Lots of pawns are falling. I don't like this for white though. It just seems like things are falling apart just a little bit here.
But look at this decision. He's saying that your knight f6 d5 configuration not great. Rook b7, a5, a6.
He's got that a pawn and it's marching forward.
Just push it.
Push it. Okay, bishop f1 first, trying to reroute the bishop potentially to c4. He's got 10 more seconds, or 6 more seconds on the clock. Push a5.
Rook c7 maybe is a plan, but then you train bishop d6. Doesn't really help.
Yep, trade bishop b6, or even a6 there was possible. Oh, no, then rook takes a7. Okay, rook e4.
You can go grab that. And remember, he can still make a draw. So he needs to keep that in mind.
He does. I don't know if he's aware of that.
Rook b1, bishop d4.
Has stabilized the situation and the clock. Rook c6, though. He's got the knight g2 coming.
Okay, rook d6, go.
D6. Oh, here we go. Here's flying in time.
Okay,
oh, my God. This is going to be close.
Oh, this is going to be good for white, though. So
Eric's
hard to play this. Knight f4.
Oh, both sides. Okay, now ef4. Now we're going to have a flag fest. Who's
oh
going to
my
get
gosh.
to f5? Here comes Eric.
Oh my gosh, but black's ahead on the clock.
Oh, Bortnick's ahead on the clock. Bortnick's pre-moving is so fast.
H6, go, H5. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Eric's so slow. He's got 3 seconds. Oh my God, Bortnick's pre-moving faster.
Bortnick's going to get it.
H5, H6 though. But here comes Eric. Oh my God.
Oh,
God.
Oh my goodness. And Bortnick breathes for the first time in like 7 games. And he wins the match thanks to that time scramble.
Holy smokes, I'm still catching my breath. How did he do that? Down a pawn with his king, the one getting checked. He pre-moved capturing Eric's rook.
That was unreal. And I think Eric's biggest mistake is when his king was on h6 and his rook was on h6, he should have pushed h5, g6, push that pawn up the board. He would never have lost the game. He would always have had a bailout. Instead, he loses his rook. He loses the game. He loses the match. Bortnick strong.
He's unbelievable. Eric with an incredible comeback. I mean, he played phenomenally in the second half of the match. It just wasn't quite enough. And that's the problem. When you bring yourself to a situation where you have to win on demand, anything can happen in a bullet game.
And Eric, once again, has a good position. But unfortunately for him, this has no relevance in the match. It's over.
Nope.
And Bortnick moves on. And unfortunately for the Chess Prof fans, we know there are so many of you out there. I mean, Eric, he really was phenomenal in the second half of the match, but you can't dig yourself in that kind of hole against Bortnick.
Nope. It was a 5-point lead, and he was that close to tying the match.
And there was a blunder here, it looks like, and that's because the D pawn is promoting.
Yeah, queen d7. I mean, I don't know why it's +5, but I guess Bortnick's probably going to win this one. Rook g5.
Rook g5, queen d5, rook h5 mate kind of stuff.
Yeah. And rook h8, queen f6, and Eric resigns, and that officially concludes the match.
And wasn't Bortnick's rating something like 3180 to start the match? So he got farmed.
Mm-hmm. He got farmed, but the important thing for him is that he wins his second match. He stays alive in the tournament, and for Eric, a disappointing finish, but a valiant effort.
Still gets $1,500 for his participation. I mean, he played really well, gave us a great show. And there's one more matchup for today. So we're at 3/4 done with today's matches. We have just one more. That will be the matchup between Alexei Serrano and Federico Perez Ponza. So, Danya, I mean, I don't even know what to say based on what we just saw.
This is bullet. I mean, this is just, it's the only form of the game that produces this kind of entertainment. So we hope you've been enjoying it. We've got one more really exciting match still to come.
We're going to take a quick rest. When we return is that 4th and final matchup here in the elimination bracket. This is the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something?
You know, hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my queen's side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell?
Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.
The FIDE Grand Prix second leg has finished the group stage. 4 players remain. That is Dmitry Andreikin out of Group A, Anish Giri out of Group B, Richard Rapport out of Group C, and Maxime Vacher-Legrave out of Group D. Those 4 players will vie for the lion's share of the Grand Prix points, see if they can make their way to the candidates. The coverage continues on chess.com, so you should join Grandmaster Benjamin Bach and Women's Grandmaster Keti Satsilashvili for all the remaining action ahead in the second leg of the FIDE Grand Prix. But we have our 4th and final matchup here in the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. It is Alexei Serrano. It is Federico Perez Ponza. Daniel Naroditsky, he is my co-commentator for this match. Danya, you played both these players so many times. Who is the favorite between them?
Gosh, I honestly thought that Perez was one of the pre-tournament favorites. I mean, he's so good and so fast, but he has just been off. You know, he was off in the first match. He just isn't quite as fast and as crisp as I remember him, but I'm still going to have to go with him as the favorite.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to take your word for it. Both those players so good. We know that they made their way into this field. They did lose the opening match. That doesn't mean that they don't have a chance, because I really believe that anybody, even in this elimination bracket, they can make their way through and even win the whole thing.
Absolutely. And here we go. We're off. Alexei with the white pieces in game 1. He's higher rated, but that doesn't say much, to be honest.
But didn't Alexei also play a classical game of chess today?
Yeah, I see his flag. He has the Serbian flag. He played in Belgrade, right? How did he do today?
I think he might have won. I know he lost the first game against Nuribek Abdusattorov, and I think he was able to win round 2. But either way, he's playing bullet. This is not classical chess. He is a great position with the white pieces because the queen side looks pretty locked up. F3 to F4, the side that controls the pawn breaks, is often the side with the advantage. Look for that pawn push at some point.
And Perez is a King's Indian player. He likes these types of positions in general. Both sides poking and prodding. Which side is going to open the center first?
And Black could think about C6, but not so fast because D6 is so vulnerable.
This should be 4. Maybe he wants to take the knight and take on A4. It's a little bit risky because he opens some files on the queen side, but he goes for it and he establishes that bishop with B3, cements it.
Black's best move is throw that pawn on E5 off the board, because then that bishop would be an absolute menace. But for now, with that bishop locked out of the game, is B4 even an... Oh, well, there's no B pawn to push.
Rook B5,
Rook B5, light square domination.
Smashing that rook in, and Perez trying to open up the other side of the board with F6.
Love that move, because you need you need to create some play for yourself, not even outside pass pawn.
Okay, queen G2, queen F8, queen coming to F4 potentially.
Okay, there it is. And what are these A pawns doing?
Whoa, and that king on B3, that is risky in a bullet game.
He probably could have trapped the queen if he started with queen F2 and then played rook D1. That queen wasn't going anywhere.
Bishop F8, now the bishop coming to E7, attacking G5, Alexei getting back and forth.
Yeah, that's a mistake by Alexei. He doesn't know what to do, so he's just shuffling his king. But now Black has outside pass pawn. White's pawn is frozen.
Black's completely in charge. He's up on time. Alexei's going to have to start pre-moving. Bishop G3 is going to come. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, it's over.
Rook F2 and H3.
Time, position, every A6. Push that A pawn.
Okay, Black should have gone king G7 instead, but now he's going to win all of White's pawns. Queen D4.
He's going to check him until he flags.
Yep, and or both. First game goes to Genghis.
And it looks like Alexei joined us in the light blue shirt club, but Federico is unfazed and he wins. And okay, we have this position out of the London system.
Oh, that system. I can understand its appeal in bullet. F5 was a nice move to stop White from going E4.
But B3 is step 1, C4 coming step 2. There is no C5 because queen takes C5. So you don't want to play that move too early.
Now knight C2 is threatened. He stops it. Okay.
And G5. Here come the pawns on the king side.
G4 freezing the knight on E2.
I hate the move C5. I really did not like the move from White because the position's locked up and it's Black who's at the strike.
Black's going to open the H file, rook H7 and H4, and White's going to be mated here if he's not careful. He finally gets the knight to D4. Black at knight D3 there.
Oh, yeah, after knight E2.
He evacuates.
No, he's actually might be better.
Knight D3, knight D3, knight D3.
The monster 4. That forked all of White's pieces.
Oh, my God. How do you miss? I mean, you got to see that stuff in bullet.
You have to.
You got to see that stuff. You can't win a match if you're not seeing that against someone like Federico.
Well, let's say
still managed to win.
He's suddenly up on time, and his king is running over to the queen side. We have a Petrosian king march.
Now the endgame is good for white. He6 is weak. Bishop f3 defending the pawn. This is right up Federico's alley.
Okay, so knight e6. There's knight takes e5. It's white
Rook
takes
a1.
c6. Rook a1's
Around for the other pawn. Uh-oh.
No targets. None. The bishop on f3 is too powerful. The bishop on d7 is a big pawn.
Rook h4, rook h7. Ooh.
Check.
Rook bishop. Throw in bishop d1 maybe.
Okay, so rook f7 is it possible? Because then you would take on b3 potentially.
Rook e8.
So
b4. B4 is a great move.
But c5 was also a great move by black.
But black's not fast enough here. Bishop b3. Bishop a4. Goodbye.
Yeah, he was ahead in the clock. And unfortunately for him, he walked right into attack d4.
That is.
Oh,
whoa!
Oh, rook d1.
Stop the pawn. That's actually incredibly impressive. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god.
King f2.
e3. Whoa, this is so close.
Wow. And
Oh
no
my God,
pre-moves.
Oh my god! It's
Get a
stealing.
rook! Get it!
Oh,
Get a rook! He needed to promote to a rook!
Oh, he had auto queen on.
You need to know how to undo that.
Find that idea. You have to hold alt.
Yes.
I cannot believe what I just saw. And why did Federico make that so complicated? He kept letting a pawn forward.
And Serrano's still smiling about that. He's like, yeah,
That's
that.
actually hilarious.
That actually is such impressive recognition. Seriously.
It really is.
He saw that so many moves in advance and he set it all up.
Yeah, bishop a2. Now he's got a great position in the next game. Let's see if he can ride this momentum and equalize the match.
Okay.
He's on his way to doing that. Federico's a horrible position.
I mean, there's got to be a tactic here, right? On the e6 square. But you just trades.
I don't like that at all. It's just too passive.
Yeah, well, he allowed the bishop into d4 and okay, well, there's got to be some kind of tactical, like a rook takes d4 idea. So I'd play queen g4. Okay, well, it doesn't matter anymore.
I would go f4. Rook f2 is possible here, but something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
It takes a pawn.
Honestly, Federico doing an amazing job of holding on here.
He has e5 might come at some point too.
Like right now?
Yeah. Knight g. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Pawn takes a 4?
Yeah. What is Alexei trying to do? Rook e5 and the queen is almost trapped and you lose the knight.
Yeah, that wasn't a good turn. But knight g5, knight c5. Okay, getting tricky. You want to if take on e6,
Okay,
knight takes.
just queen
Wait.
c5 was the simplest.
Yeah, I didn't like that decision.
Still winning, but now it gets really complicated. But queen c3, white's king is so weak.
Queen g3 is leading to checkmate. And now
Oh, he's
she's-
going to take the rook with check and then the other rook.
all the rooks are falling.
All right. All my rooks belong to you, and so does the knight.
Well, that's very generous of you.
Dang, what a game. And what a heartbreaker there for Serrano. He was just dominating there.
I mean, you sensed the moment, though. As soon as he kind of took a step back and allowed the bishop into d4, it was all Federico. So right now, we get this London system. These lines are really hectic, but if you know them well and you can play them quickly, then you can hold steady.
Yeah, I think Alexei's issue is he's getting, okay, not in this game, but when he's getting a good position, he's just playing a little too conservatively. He's got to press that gas pedal down. He's actually gets out of that pretty nicely. He's got the passer. Knight c3 is a threat.
Uh-oh. And you can just take on f4 if you want to get rid of that bishop.
Rook e8. Rook e8, I think, won a piece there because you couldn't move the knight.
Oh, that's an unbelievable tactic, actually. That was shocking.
Now, but still, now white is better because that black king is weak and black's pawn on c3 is more of a weakness than a strength, I think.
But white missed the opportunity to play e4. Before that rook landed on c4, white should have pushed that pawn to kick the knight out. Now, that pawn h6, speaking of a weakness rather than a strength, in all endgames, that pawn h6 is a bad pawn.
The dark squares are
Queen g6.
singing here. Queen g3, but Alexei holding steady. Holding. Whoa, rook d4. Oh, this looks like there's f4.
F4. Yeah.
Alexei just not, he doesn't have that killer instinct so far.
But he's up on time. That's probably why he's not going for the crazy tactics.
Hey, but it's okay.
It's funny because I know exactly when you're going to do it now. If I contradict you, then you start throwing me into the Gary universe.
Right, exactly.
Ooh, 94.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Rook
wait.
g7.
F4? Rook g7 first. Okay. F4 is
F4
coming.
is a threat. Okay, Alexei with a nice timely rook g6. You should be able to flag him here, but Federico has stabilized it.
It's even material. How is that possible?
I have no idea. King F4. White is like better now, rook b4.
Yeah, he had to play his 95 idea.
But Alexei should be able to flag him.
Federico's so fast, though.
Yeah, he is fast. Rook
Rook
f5,
F5,
rook
rook
a5,
F-
king c3. Oh, so is Alexei, though.
Oh my gosh, that was a great decision to take on a3
Okay, flag.
before. Oh, you were just trying to see what decibel level you could get to?
I don't like your attitude. That was a great commentary by me. It was very informative.
I do appreciate your singing.
I sound like a soprano.
Nice. So d6. Oh, not played. But d6.
Uh-oh. Another very dubious opening. d6 now.
Yeah, because you can't take. What is going on here?
I have no idea.
But you still can't take on d6. The bishop takes h7 check. There's a discovery.
These have been wild games. Like these openings have been so weird.
And he put what was a3?
To prepare before.
Like it's working out perfectly, but it was very surprising.
Rook e5, and now all of a sudden black is falling apart. Rook e7 is coming.
Oh gosh, this is like resignable.
a5. Ooh, scary.
Yeah, 96 is a threat, or is
Rook e6 too.
Yeah, 96 not. Oh gosh, the knight's lost.
This is hard to watch. This is resigns. It's literally made on the next move. Ooh, okay. Bishop f2, black wins.
You saw that? Nice try, pre-moving queen b6, but he's like, I'm not taking your bishop.
All right, no, I don't need that. Okay, and a tie match as Alexei wins 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm. And right now, honestly, the momentum is in his favor. He's really playing better chess, and there's that tilt factor. So, in your experience, can Federico be tilted?
Yeah, Federico definitely a little bit pro tilt, not tremendously. I think he mainly keeps a consistency, but more than Alexei, I think. I think Alexei's very level-headed.
Okay. Well, right now the position is very stable for white. The bishop on b7 staring into a brick wall of this pawn chain. And it seems like they're missing something because the eval keeps swinging.
Well, the queen is very close to getting trapped. It's got basically one square, which is a pretty good square, to be fair.
Yeah.
b4.
Knight back, then e5.
Knight d5, forced it, otherwise the knight was lost.
And now the b4
Bishop
pawn is
b1.
loose.
Bishop b1, maybe?
Oh, that would be sickening. An f5, I guess black had, but that was now black's
And
better.
then like rook takes d5 there.
Okay, you can almost take on b4 because bishop c5 ideas were in the air, but this is just better, right? Just save your knight and look at the bar.
Wow, rook c2.
Oh,
knight
gosh.
f4 is on the cards as well. Ugh.
And look at that, hitting the rook. When the
Queen
rook,
takes
free rook.
c5. Oh my
Game over.
goodness. Federico is losing his mind here a little bit in these last couple games.
Ever since the stalemate trick.
Yep, that was a huge momentum shift. Even though Federico won the next game, I think.
He did, but I think it gave Alexei this self-belief,
Yeah.
No matter how bad the position is, I have a chance.
Okay, now Federico down by a point. This is a pretty important game right now for momentum purposes.
And white's pawns are just storming up the board here. The king on g8, not very safe. Next, we're coming over to f1, and knight rerouting itself, but it just comes to f1.
Yeah.
You want to sacrifice, didn't you?
I definitely would have taken knight 6 in a heartbeat. Now you can't take the knight because the queen hangs. Now black has a massive square on e5.
But white has e6 and c6 for his knight, so it's a very interesting moment here. So knight e6, sack. He goes back. He's calmer than I am. Rook h5.
Knight d5 maybe is possible.
Ooh. Just
Although,
goes
okay,
h6.
probably not worth it.
Is it rook h7? Like, can you play rook h7, queen h5 check and take the knight?
I think you have to try because white's fingers are slowly slipping from the ledge here. It just feels like black's got the momentum in the game.
h5, h6.
Not anymore.
Oh gosh.
Now white's better.
Yeah. Protected pass pawn. Now rook, queen f5.
Ooh,
EF, because a winning pawn endgame.
D6.
Yeah, it's a winning pawn endgame.
Oh, and you take g7. You're right,
Yes.
and then you promote. Oh,
But you have to go queen d6, but yeah, that's not good. You queen h8, queen h7 check. Okay, or this.
Oh,
all the
collect this
pawns.
one too. Even no, I wouldn't take the queen.
Oh, an F6 coming. F6, F6.
F6. Another win for Alexei.
He's a little good. Don't know if anybody else knew that.
He's okay.
Oh gosh. Well, 3,100 plus, and Federico, things are just going adrift. He's really not found his footing after Alexei started winning.
Yeah, I mean, he gets decent positions, but then he just kind of loses the thread a little bit, and he's got another pretty dubious position here. Alexei's super active out of the opening. Knight b6, knight c4. Easy play for black. Okay, Federico stabilizing.
He's controlling the only open file, so it's clear that black is better, but there's nothing to attack. b3 is defended, can't pop pressure on that piece. So
maybe knight b8, knight a6, knight
oh,
b4.
Be careful. Don't drop e6.
Knight f4, knight takes d5.
Knight of fate. Oh, knight d5, you're saying? Wow, what a move. Bishop b4, by the way.
It's a nice move. c3.
Mm-hmm. Take b3.
Knight d8 is a threat now.
Nasty. What is knight a7?
Whoa. Where is it going? What's he going?
Nobody knows.
Okay, but now he's just a pawn down.
He's up a few seconds, but down a pawn. Oh,
yeah, the pawn's more important here.
Connected chain. King d5 is good. Knight e6. I mean, all the pieces are working
this
together.
is just knight c5, knight e4. This is just
God. D3. Oh, he didn't go for it, but that
knight king c3.
Yikes.
Oh my goodness, this is just just devastating. And they're over halfway through the match, and Alexei's lead keeps ballooning. This one's going to be aborted.
Yeah, and the break could not come at a better time for Federico, because he has just been losing game after game, and I think he needs to reset. And before we head to our break, what does he need to do? Like, what is something concrete he can do to help his chances?
I mean, he just has to play more actively, I think. He's just falling into really, really passive positions. He's a tactical player. He's got to sacrifice more. He's got to find a way to go after Alexei's king. Yeah,
whatever he's doing with the black piece has not been working. Alexei's had a free attack, it seems like. So we'll see if Federico looks at a few openings, changes up his repertoire. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it is more from Alexei Serrano, Federico Perez Ponza here at the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. And we return for the second half of our final match of the day. It is Alexei Serrano with the lead over Federico Perez Ponza. And Danya, it was an early lead for Federico. Then Alexei, he gets the stalemate. Yes, he lost the game after that, but since then, it's been all Serrano.
It has been. And as we were talking about before the break, I think Federico's just not been playing actively enough. He's been giving Alexei all he wants out of the opening. Maybe it requires a change of the openings themselves, maybe the way he's playing the openings, but changes are necessary and they have to be implemented right now.
They certainly do. Not too much time left for Federico to come back in this match, though we did just see Eric Hansen come so close. So Federico, if he was watching the match before this, he knows that it's possible even against these superstar bullet players.
Yeah, and Eric was down by 5 in the halftime break. And Federico repeating the snake Benoni, I think it's called, with bishop c7, which has yielded him horrific positions.
Yeah, I don't like this decision. I mean,
and he's got another terrible position. He just keeps repeating the same horrible line. I just don't get it.
And it's clear he didn't really look at it because he's coming up with the moves on the fly, and maybe he will survive this game. But look at this position.
This is terrible. 90. I don't know about
94.
bishop takes g6, but still d6.
D7's at the red. Queen can go to d5. C5 is hanging. I think c5 is a free pawn. D7. Queen e2 is probably even better.
No, now I think black has stabilized it a little bit.
Okay, so now you can't play b6. So I don't like the move a6.
A5.
Okay, takes it.
That would have fixed the pawn to get the b pawn rolling.
But this is good enough.
D7 is a huge threat. B6 is coming. This is indefensible in a bullet game.
Rook e7. There's no knight move that looks too. Oh, his knight e4 was possible, I guess.
Here comes Alexei's rook. I would go b6. Yep.
Just push those pawns.
Honestly, inexplicable opening choices by Federico. Knight e6 check. Knight e6.
There's queen d5 at the end. Oh no, it's not because you get to check an e7.
Oh, queen d5. White resigns.
Yeah.
There he goes. He decided to prevent that as well.
There's no queen d5 anymore, so there's
rook
f6, queen g5, and mate.
He never got off the ground. He never made a move past the third rank.
No, he didn't. And Serrano keeps on winning, and Federico, he really needs to change the opening with black, but right now he has the white pieces. He's going to try to strike in center of e4, and what's going on here?
And he's firmly in must-win territory. 12.5 to go in the match. He closes the center again, which I'm never a huge fan of. Knight f8 is a pretty simple defensive move.
And white just has a little bit more space, but black is solid. So if white can't punch through, well, here position opens up, and now white has problems to deal with himself.
White's got weak pawns, e5, c4. They're hard pawns to defend, and he doesn't defend them. Just gives them away.
Oh, but look at this, queen
nice
a4. Yeah, where's your bishop going? Back to b7, I take a7. Give me
exactly what happens.
That's a great bishop on a8.
Okay, queen e7. What's the idea, though? Oh.
Okay, bishop b7, he gets out of there. And now queen b2 can happen. Queen a5, sure, reasonable. Is the queen almost trapped?
It almost is. So he gets it out, but at the cost of the a4 pawn.
Right.
He attacks the bishop.
Okay, bishop e4. So this back rank issue is very annoying for black to deal with.
Yeah, but now he's up 2 pawns, and queen a8 forces a queen trade. Whoa.
I'm just confused.
Whoa.
Oh! Wait, what?
What's the idea? Rook g6? I mean, I told him to sack more pieces, but not for nothing. Rook b8, though, he's still got some pressure. Oh, but he just goes back.
Yeah, that's what you were saying before. He needs to be more active.
Oh my God, he's just going all the way back with all of his pieces. Queen f3, and black is totally winning.
Yeah, easily. Just trade. Queen takes e4, trade everything. Oh, he doesn't. He's going for mate.
Oh my God, Federico this is just not his day.
No. Just eating them all. Full Pac-Man on that board.
Game after game. And it was 2.5 Federico. So he's won. Has he won 7 in a row?
I think so.
Wow, this is like adoption territory. That's never fun.
Just wow. And we have a different opening. So no longer do we have that snake Benoni. We saw this earlier in the match, and Alexei was able to close the position up and eventually win this a4 pawn, but it was quite complicated.
But this is Federico's main opening, and I really think that in these serious bullet matches, you should stick to something that you know. You should play your real openings.
And c6 played, just trying to open the position up. C takes d5, knight takes
B5.
d5. Yeah, b5 at some point, maybe in that previous moment was good.
Okay, knight comes to d4. No, this is a CD, and ooh, no, bishop
bishop
a4.
a4. Yeah, wins
a
a piece.
Oh my god, he does it. Alexei a little frustrated there.
And I think Federico is like, yep, I'm going to keep playing this opening.
Yeah, this seems to work just a little bit better.
Rook a8, go for checkmate.
Queen f5 is a great move, and it's not quite mate yet. And if you get an endgame, White's got a bunch of these passers.
That's why Queen e5 was a great move. But King b3 and nice response as well.
Rook a2. Oh, Queen b2. Goodbye. Not yet. Queen a2. Queen a2 and Queen a6.
Queen b3 and b5.
Yeah. Good stuff by Federico.
Oh, that was really nice.
That was beautiful. And that's how he should play. This is his style. When he gets an attack, he finds all these moves. So, and there we go. Here's a bishop f4 knight. He's making these changes, but are they too late?
It's a good call. Even if it's late, still 9 minutes remaining. And remember, as long as there's even 1 second remaining on the match clock, then the final game begins. So there's plenty of time for Federico if he can keep winning.
He gets his rook, and this is now he's playing. This is the Federico that I know.
It's looking
he's
scary.
Fast and incredibly aggressive. Fe and rook f6 maybe. He gets his knight to f4 instead.
I like that too. And there's attacks on the g6 square everywhere. Bishop back to d1 is
knight h5. He wants knight h5, knight f6.
Oh my gosh, this is just a domination.
Where was this? Knight f6? Oh, I don't like knight
so that was
knight
a
f6
really
winning on the spot.
Yeah, that was a bad choice. That was a really, really bad choice.
He's still winning, I think, though. But he's blundering a bunch of pawns. f4. Oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
How many pawns has he just lost?
Still, that bishop on g7 is so bad that still gives White some chances.
It's true. And Queen f5 was played, but
no, I don't know what that.
He won like a check and bishop f5 mate, but that's never happening.
Bishop e4, king g8. Oh, he escapes, but black is low on time. And this is the byproduct of playing aggressively. You get your opponent low on time, even if you play badly.
That's right. But unfortunately, Serrano is playing very well, even in his own time trouble.
Yeah, he's about to. The pawns on the queen side are about to Serrano away with it.
Oh, you did not do that.
Whoa. I'm going to ignore what you just said. Bishop takes f3, maybe?
Probably have to.
Even perpetual check.
Bishop. How do you stop this?
Queen c1, and all of a sudden, black's the one attacking. King g1. You got to go king g1. Oh, mate. Queen d2, queen c1.
Queen d2, queen f2. Yeah.
Oh, heartbreaker for Federico. That might have just ended the match right there.
And black was up on time. So even though Serrano was getting attacked, oh no, we're back here.
Why is he doing this to himself? This is like a Benoni done 5 tempi.
I don't know what to tell you, Don. I don't like this opening. E5 at some point is about to happen.
Same thing happens every single game. Alexis goes to E5, D6, and wins easily.
Okay, but here it's more complicated.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. That B4 was a really nice move. I don't know about that though.
The moves are coming in so quickly. At least White's king is not safe, right? Now bishop f4, there's g3. So was there g3?
Rook b4, great move.
He takes on f4.
Okay, bishop moves back. Queen trade seems inevitable because you can't allow the queen to.
Rook a8.
Or d6.
Yeah, both are good. Rook a8 just wins a piece. D6 probably also wins a piece.
Rook
a8 again. Yeah.
Wow, rook a8 and d8. Jesus. Rook
a8.
and d8.
Yeah.
Okay, Alexei. If I'm Alexei, I'm bleeding. Oh, he resigns. That's gracious. I would have bled the clock down.
Should have.
Okay, no, but it's a 5-point lead. No, there's just no way.
6. Alexei won that again.
Oh, Alexei was white. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind here.
you're fine. You also expect these matches to be very close, but right now it's Alexei running away with this thing.
Completely. And every time Federico literally plays the King's Indian, he wins a great game. What does he do? He reverts back to the Snake Benoni where he's lost all of his games. I just don't get it.
No, it's not been a good opening situation for Federico. And right now, I mean, look at this. Just rook c8.
Rook c8. Oh, and now d3, shoving that pawn through. Rook c2 is a potential idea.
Yeah, he's playing hope chess, right? Trying to attack the black king, but now there's no attack on that side of the board. Can trade with rook c5. Okay, queen e7 also keeps everything safe.
Knight f3 and rook c2 is interesting.
Oh, can't really stop it.
Oh! What an intermezzo. That's so dirty. I mean, I think white had 95 there.
Yeah, but it just goes to show, anticipating your opponent's pre-moves can win you all these games.
Yeah. Wow, incredible. I mean, a5, that's a pretty topical line.
Mm-hmm. d5, bishop e3 is possible.
I never know the theory in any of these lines. They're just so convoluted.
Yeah, I certainly don't.
Did you know the theory of everything?
Wait, what about nice one there? Why didn't bishop f3? Wasn't that available before? Oh, because there's no knight
f3.
Yeah, there's a bishop d5 tactic.
Okay.
So the black's position is actually pretty good right now. In fact, just
especially
winning.
After this.
The rook is trapped.
Yep. Bishop takes h7. That is a game changer.
But Alexei's doing what he has to, just keep the clock running. And I think already mathematically it's very over. But, he resigned. He knows.
He's talking about 6 points in 3.5 minutes.
Hey.
So you need an average of
30-second games.
Right. And this is how Federico should have played the entire match, to be honest.
Just throw his pieces forward.
Right.
Yeah, he's been a bit too restrained. And look at this position. I mean, there's just so much more space. Rook takes c3 incoming.
And that's the most important thing in bullet, is to get positions that you're comfortable with. It's just greatly accentuated because it's pure intuition.
What if you're comfortable with no positions?
Well, then that's a great question. You've stumped me completely.
I just turned into the Twitch chat, right? That's the type of question they would ask.
What if you're comfortable in no positions? Takes the knight e4.
Oh gosh, a fork on c3. Oh, or not.
Wow.
There was that fork on c3 though.
Alexei's already had lunch. He has no use for utensils. Knight c5.
Oh,
Knight c5.
He's just gonna take all these pawns on knight h3.
Knight e6, back to g5. It's like bobbing for apples.
Just grab them all.
Knight c5. Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Wow. This match has turned out to be a lot more one-sided than I would have anticipated.
And all of our earlier matches were super close. It came down to the final game, or final games. But now it's just a one-sided affair. And of course, Alexei, he's just a monster. So you got to tip your cap to him. But something about today wasn't for Federico.
No, rook f8, bishop takes e5. Okay.
Knights are great blockading pieces.
I would have gone a5 there. No, I mean something. Yeah, Federico just not his day, and sometimes it just happens. It's just not sharp. Period. You can't explain it. Wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It happens.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the body language right now. I mean, he's sitting back
dejected.
in his gaming chair. Yeah, he's like, I know I can do better than this.
That does look like a nice chair, though.
I agree. I wonder what the brand is. Anyway, here we see that white is just pressing forward. Oh my gosh, just up a pawn, second pawn about to fall.
Driving that wedge into black's position.
And queen f7 check and queen g7 mate is going to happen if you don't trade queens.
Well, queen b7.
Yeah, queen b7 would look good.
It is over. But even this doesn't work. Even that doesn't work. Oh my goodness, this is sad.
And they still have time for one more game. It's like, couldn't the match have just been over? No. Alexei continues to dominate this one, and this will in fact be the final game.
Yeah, he is dead here. Dej. Maj and Dej.
Queen a5 at some point. Oh, bishop a3 almost wins an exchange.
It's Maj Midge. All right, c5 before.
Maj Midge? Maisel?
Yep. No, all the other midges I know.
So knight d2 does not
Rook F2-1.
work because there's a knight on f3 covering it, but knight d2 is something to keep an eye out for.
Ooh,
H5.
mate. Oh, no mate on h7. Queen h7 would be a funny move here.
Just blundering the queen on the spot.
Right. Ooh, that's a great blockading square.
Yeah. But the semi-open f file should give black some play. Although
Karpov would have slayed 5 dragons for this position. Lone pine. Rook takes d5, and there's mate on e8 in the end.
What was the Yasser line that he had? So like Korchnoi would have walked through the Gobi Desert to get that pawn or something like that.
Oh yeah. Korchnoi.
Oh.
Korchnoi would have fasted for 30 days and 30 nights and in order to secure that a7 pawn in Lone Pine. And Federico, just not his match. Alexei with a dominant performance. He wins 12.5, 5.5. It wasn't even close, and he was down by 2 points.
Wow. So Alexei Serrano, he moves on in this Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean. Our 4 matches have concluded. And Danya and I believe we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll go over the match of the day and then send you on your way. So we'll be right back for the final bits of this Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean coverage.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something.
You know, hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my queen's side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell?
Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.
Welcome back. It was a great day here at the Bullet Chess Championship, and now it's time for your DigitalOcean match of the day. And Danya, we had no choice but to choose the game between Fabiano Caruana and Sergey Zhigalko.
The whole match was fascinating. It was back and forth match. It was evenly matched. Both players, having their highs and lows, and all came down to the last game. The match was tied. Fabi had won 2 games on demand in the last 2 minutes in order to tie the match, and off they go with the match on the line. It was a Queen's Indian defense. Things started in a pretty tame fashion.
That's right, they did, where both sides giving up their dark square bishops. White's pawn structure a little bit worse with those double C pawns, but look at those pawns on the 4th rank, so White gets a bit more activity.
White gets more activity. Sergey pushes E5 to prevent White from going E5, black castles, and things were pretty positional, but at some point things start heating up. And I think it started when Fabi plays this move knight H2 in order to get his knight to G4.
It's a typical maneuver, rerouting that knight. And then White was even able to expand on the king side. It was getting very dangerous for Black because he didn't trade knights instead of dropping his knight into the F4 square, but king H2, pawn G3, pawn pushes on the king side allowed Fabiano to have the upper hand.
He gets his knight back to F5, then he goes G4. He starts pushing Black off the board, except Sergey then finds a very nice way to reroute. He goes Queen F6. Here we thought maybe it was worth going G5 to sacrifice the pawn, but Fabi closing the center with D5 and Sergey closing the king side with G5. And all of a sudden the position closes completely. And at this point, we thought that maybe the game is, as likely as to end in a draw, as neither side seems to be able to make progress.
And then a funny sequence of events happens where White focuses energy on the B file, and then it looked like Sergey blundered a pawn on A5. Fabiano saw that with the rook on B8 being a little bit loose, rook takes A5 was a possibility, but it's actually a good blunder for Black and a bad pawn to take, because when you're missing pawns, you have open files. And look at the rooks doubling up very quickly. The bishop on E4 is a bystander in this game.
It is, and Fabi trying to put the bishop to good use, going A4, forcing Sergey to give up the knight in order to keep the A file open. It still seems like Black is completely in control of the game. The time situation at this point, 20 seconds to White, 17 seconds to Black, but Sergey's position so much easier to play, and this is where something crazy happened. Probably Sergey should have gone F6, but because he didn't, Fabi finding an opportunity to create counterplay, F6 check, and Queen H7, and an acute time pressure. This is so hard to deal with.
White had a few more seconds and now is on the initiative, and down went the H6 pawn. The rook's fed over to G8 defending it, but look at this. The move that happened here with C5, that is a typical kind of idea, but a brilliant one, no matter if you've seen it before, because the point is you take with the B pawn, the rook has the B file to operate with, C7 is weak. There are all sorts of ideas here going after the Black king, but after taking with the D pawn, Fabi says, I'm not giving you one pawn, I'm giving you a second as well. Boom, and what are you gonna do? If you take with the king, but if you take him with the pawn, right, then B6 would have fallen anyway. So it was a disaster for the Black king.
And in severe time pressure, there's just no way to defend this. King E7 was the last chance. Sergey trying to escape to the queen side, but Fabi cuts him off with checkmate. Queen E4 mate, because the king is cut off from the D file, cut off from the B file, and cut off from B7. Fabi turning the game around, with his last seconds at the last possible moment and winning the match. What an incredibly clutch performance by Fabi.
And the sign of an improving bullet player, knowing when to give up those pawns for the initiative. And it was objectively good decision-making. So Fabiano Caruana beats Sergey Zhigalko in our DigitalOcean match of the day. And Danya, we did have 4 just extraordinary matches. The last one didn't live up to the hype that the first 3 did because it was lopsided in favor of Alexei Serrano, but still we had 4 great matches in front of us today.
It was close from the beginning. We had Jordan and Forrest and Arjun going back and forth. Then, of course, the Zhigalko Caruana match. Eric, almost a miraculous, incredible comeback against Bortnick, but Bortnick keeping his composure at the very end, and a destructive performance by Serrano against Forrest Ponza. Great matches today, indeed.
And I think the players that won their matches really deserved it. Sometimes things just get out of hand, but for example, Arjun Aragaisi, he had internet connection issues, and yet he still was able to win that match all the way down at the finish. So we'll see who these players play next, because as you see in this double elimination format, people will lose and then end up in the what's the so-called losers bracket. So for example, Alexei Serrano will play the loser of this match 16, that is Jospin, Grandmaster Martinez against Andrew Tang. So these are the 4 matchups we'll see on Wednesday. Hikaru Nakamura taking on Brendan Jacobson. Ray Robson taking on just some guy named Daniel Naroditsky.
Some dude.
some dude. Raunik Sidwani taking on our good buddy Min, who is an IM in title, but a superstar in all of these speed chess type events, the Bullet Chess Championship being one of them. And of course, last but not least, who did I miss? The name? No, Jose Martinez. And Andrew, did I say all 4 matches?
No, Jose Martinez against Tang is the last one. Another unbelievable match. And that will be coming your way Wednesday, March 9th. Festivities start at 10 a.m. Pacific with my match against Ray, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then, as per usual, the matches will be 30 minutes each. Can't wait. It's going to be super, super exciting, Robert.
It's all exciting here with the many events that chess.com is hosting and covering. And speaking of hosting, the Rapid Chess Championship presented by Coinbase, that one has been a phenomenal series. You see in the photo in front of you, Wesley So, Hikaru Nakamura, Fabiano Caruana. Might need to add Levon Aronian to those images because he defeated Fabiano in what was Caruana's 3rd straight final, the knockout in the Rapid Chess Championship.
Yeah, Fabi has been on a tear and he is still in the BCC. We're going to be watching him carefully. So your weekend is covered and the RCC continues, of course, this coming weekend.
Whew. Well, the action was fast paced. The day has come to its conclusion. There's still much more chess to watch. The FIDE Grand Prix is going to the knockout stage. There's going to be Title Tuesdays tomorrow, 2 of them, in fact, every single Tuesday. It'll be double the fun, triple the prize fund from what people may be used to. So much chess to watch. But Danya, I got to thank you. It's fun as always. I'm going to miss you for the next BCC coverage because you'll be busy playing.
Likewise, but I'll be doing my very best to stay in the tournament. I've got a tough match, and this was a blast as usual, Robert. So thank you. Thank you to all the players and to everybody in the chat and to our producer. This was another wonderful day of chess.
It was indeed. And with that, we will bid you adieu. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you soon for more from the Bullet Chess Championship presented by DigitalOcean.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Todd.
Deborah says you're working on a fancy app or something?
You know, hold on. Not really working on it yet. I just don't know which cloud service to go with.
Well, I've got a cousin on my Queens side that swears by DigitalOcean. Says they're easy to use, have straightforward pricing, and really focus on making developers happy.
DigitalOcean, huh? I'm gonna check them out.
What the hell?
Dude, how are you doing that?
I'm not.